it that way. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. And as you can see, it is a special day. Happy birthday to our guy here, Peter, man. Happy birthday to you, brother.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know where you got half those pictures. It shows all the stuff we've done here over the years.
So, yes, man. It's been some time for sure, man.
Being it's my birthday, I'm gonna celebrate in the way I do. What the heck? It's never too early, right? So, cheers to all of you. You know, we'll have a good morning.
Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely, guys. Welcome to everybody. Happy birthday to Peter. As we get this last day of the week. Actually, it's not Friday. It feels like Friday, man. No. I'm ready to party. It's Thursday. It is Thursday. All right. As we get this pre-Friday day going here. Welcome to everybody on YouTube and also in our chats. All right, friends, let's quick look at our gappers list, then we'll get into all the fun stuff we might have here on our US economic calendar. Our gappers list right now brought to you by tradingterminal.com. Seeing some green this morning, so a little bit of life, a little bit of lift in our gappers list today as we get things on the other side of the fence now. Some stuff in the red, not many of our usual suspects in there. I see a couple of tickers that we know very well. We'll see what's driving those lower. But for the most part, Peter, things feeling a little on the bullish end today.
Well, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff happening today. So it's going to be a busy one, at least from an earnings perspective. What is not going to be busy is the economic calendar. As you can see, all the data points that we would normally look at and that would help move the market, not available. So really, we've got a number of Fed speakers. I ran out of line items here. But we've got Fed speakers pretty much every hour, all day. They seem to be hitting the talk show circuit. But, you know, the market usually ignores it unless, of course, it's the chair and he's not talking. he's in his secret bunker, volcano mountain. I don't know where he hangs out, but... anyways, so yeah, really nothing. All we got is, of course, the like I said, the earnings, but that's going to keep us busy because there are quite a few companies that we're going to have to talk about here this morning. So let's get to them.
All right, absolutely, friends. Let's hop on over here. First one on deck is FRGE. So we'll start there. FRGE this morning. If we look at this one, we are up 66%. So pretty big gap up, not moving a whole lot. Pretty stuck sideways at the moment. Peter, is this some kind of buyout maybe? I mean, it just looks weird. Look at the daily, huge move up to the upside here. I feel like what's the latest and greatest?
This should be Fridge, but it's Forge Global Holdings. Yeah, and it's weird. I don't even know what this company is. It's must be a financial services company. Join the new generation buying and selling private company shares. Okay, so they seem to take companies public. There's a rumor of a buyout, but there's no details by Charles Schwab. So that's why it popped up here. Somebody must have an idea of what price it's going to sell at for the price to have settled here. But Carlos, there's not much we can do with this until the rumor is either confirmed or denied. So
yeah, we'll have to sit around and wait. Again, doesn't look like one that's going to be on my list. Just doesn't fit the style that we do for trading here. BHF is next, friends. This one is up 25%, 1.5 million shares traded. Another one that's gapping up and just not moving a whole lot. So I don't like the way this looks here. Bright House Financial is the name of the ticker. 56 million shares flow on this one.
Yeah, and it seems to be a day for the acquisition of financial services companies. They've agreed to be acquired by a company called Aquarian for $70 cash. So like most cash deals, this is going to go up to a price just below the cash deal. Actually, it's quite a bit away. Normally they get a little closer than that, but it's not likely to move from here. For whatever reason, it's decided to settle at the $65, 65 and a quarter, and it's just going to stay there.
Yeah, we'll leave it alone as well. Let's look at D-Dog. Obviously, that information, that cat is not tradable. D-Dog is next.
Comments. Did you see that cat? We're going cats
what?
to dogs?
We're going to cats to dogs? No. Chat, I said no. Chat is going crazy. Yeah. And it's like that's apple juice, says Kem Pazam. You could tell that if your kids are watching, yes,
What?
you could tell them that's apple juice.
Abs
Tell no, it's okay. If your kids are watching, you
Absolutely
gotta tell
not.
them that is apple juice. We get it. There's an explanation that needs to take place for the
Sure, it's
youngsters.
apple juice.
Yeah, but no,
Yeah,
no, no, no,
morning
no.
apple
This
juice.
is apple juice does not move like that, and there it goes.
15-year-old Glenn Goyne. It's
Yeah,
a good one of my favorites. I got this from a friend, so I
very
like it.
nice, Peter. Very nice. Enjoy, enjoy, my friend. Well deserved on your birthday here. D Dog is next. It's one that we're very aware of. Datadog doesn't really trade very well as far as intraday action. They're here today, up 22%, 1.3 million shares traded. If there's any day to watch this ticker, if you want to, it's today. Right, today could be their big day. Peter, earnings, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah, this morning around 7 they released their earnings. They beat both numbers, revenue and bottom line earnings. There's unfortunately not really a lot of interesting things to talk about. They did raise their full year guidance, so it's good news. But like you said, unfortunately, they just don't trade as well as I'd like them to. We've tried to watch them in the past. Rarely do we get a trade. Not never, but rarely. Last time I think we were watching them was probably earlier this year, probably 2 quarters ago on their earnings announcement. You can sort of see when those happened with some of the gaps on the daily chart. And geez, I had no idea this thing has gone up so much. It's more than doubled since April. So, well, with the raise today, it's more than doubled. So yeah, it's been on a good run.
Yeah, it sure has. Wow, Peter, did you notice something different on the YouTube chat? Don't tell them, guys. Besides your
No.
birthday.
I I didn't. Do people have real names again?
Some people do, man. Did you guys change your names? Did you guys change your names to real names? No, look at Bear Traders. Their name is there. Matt Props. Yeah, some people got names. Are you guys changing your names? Is that what it is? I think some people are changing their username to something more
See,
more
I still have numbers.
oh no, you still got 1754. Okay.
I don't understand. What?
Google's doing an update. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what it is,
Google's doing
Andrew.
some weird
Yeah.
stuff out there. I don't know what's
There
going on.
is. Yeah, so if you see something weird, you know what's happening. Like a couple of streams ago, you guys started getting ads in the middle of the stream. We don't do that. I think that's nonsense. You'll get one in the beginning, but not in the middle. And I think they turned that on. So even our streaming thing on the back end looks different. So if you see stuff weird, it's not us. It's them, right? So just keep that in mind. All right, let's continue, friends. Here it is. Gapper says brought to you by tradingterminal.com. Google is Googling. Yeah. Let's see here. NUAI. So NUAI is another one on deck today. Wow, the top couple here not looking so hot. Up 19%. New Era Energy, 3.9 million shares traded. Dailies again just all over the place. Not my typical type of stock to trade. Pre-market does look again as good as it can look for an energy company. If that's anything we could say about it.
Yeah, they had a good announcement 2 days ago, I think it was, with their investment in an AI data center. I'm not sure. I mean, is this just? I guess this is just a continuation of that move. The blah blah. They continued. Now they've entered into a land option purchase agreement for 3,500 acres in New Mexico. That's always a good thing. If
Yeah.
you're buying 3,500 acres in New Mexico these days, you're either looking to escape the government, you're building a secret missile test site, or an AI data center,
Yeah. No.
or running a meth lab. Maybe.
Yeah. Um, again, just not my thing here. We'll move on to the next one. COHR, another one that we've seen here before. And again, normally doesn't trade well. We'll start hopping around. Start looking at some of the better things this morning.
So,
Coherent is on here, Peter, gapping up 30%, 222,000 shares traded.
yeah. What is this? COHR. As soon as that
Yeah.
HR in the name, it's probably not something I'm going to look at. Let's take a look at it. I have to admit, I haven't looked at this one. It doesn't even have any data on it. So, Coherent Corp. Okay, hold on. So it looks like they had earnings. This is a AI data center demand. I don't even know what business this is in. They call themselves a scientific and technical instrument company. It looks like they're doing business with the Department of Defense. They're building equipment that maximizes throughput and yield with cutting edge laser technology. Cool. All right. Um, yeah. Okay. So they had earnings. It doesn't look like the type of stock that I'm going to be interested in. So, and we have a question here on YouTube. Can I elaborate on what we like or don't like? Let me give you a couple of the high level things that I look at right away at a stock. First, I look at average daily volume. If it's not getting at least 10 million shares a day on average, it would have to really be high, a big increase in volume for it to be a good trading stock on this day, which means at this point at the market, I would want to see close to or over a million shares traded. Coherent, for example, has 228,000 shares traded. It just barely made my list. So I don't like it, right? So there's not enough average
Yep.
daily volume, and there's not enough volume today to show me it's going to move. The other thing that I look at right off the top is I take a look at a 1 minute chart, and I want to see, is there consistent volume minute to minute? Because irrespective of the volume in the morning, it might not be happening in a consistent manner. I want to know that it's in play, that there's a lot of sort of smaller transactions taking place. Like you could have a million shares, but if 800,000 happened all in 1 minute, well, that doesn't help me, right? Because I don't get that consistent volume I need to be able to trade this thing. So I want to see consistent price action. Coherent, just look at the chart on a shorter time frame, and you can see there's big gaps in the trading activity. So, it's not really in play enough. So at a very high level, those would be the things we look at. There's also some filtering that Carlos and I do, just looking at the relative size of the company, the size of the float, right? Those give us an indication of just how volatile it's going to be and how readily available shares are. We talk about those regularly, right? We actually filter for those. We filter a lot of the smaller stuff out, so it doesn't even hit our list. But those are probably the high levels. Okay.
Yep. Yep. Well said, Peter. Nothing else to add there. It's just perfectly said. All right, let's continue here. Gappers list. What else we have? You know what? Let's stop here. Let's get to some other ones. Let's skip around a little bit, Peter. We'll go to earnings. There is a bunch down here. We got Baba. We got some other ones. SMCI, which had earnings yesterday. Iron, which made some noise a week ago, I think it was. So yeah, let's hop around a little bit. Maybe look at some sectors. What do you have on your radar this morning that you like, or earnings?
Yeah, there is a ton of stuff on the gap up. Well, both the gap up and the gap down list. So we've got lots to look at. Why don't I start with the stuff that we were tracking for earnings? Because there was a whole lot of them after the close yesterday. Let's see, what's gapping up? Well, Robinhood. Robinhood beat their numbers and put in a very good quarter. They actually are gapping up here, but that's a little bit of a surprise. They've made a comeback overnight because initially they gapped down. They gapped down pretty heavily after the close yesterday, if you look at the chart, and they've made this good comeback. So puts them in a very interesting position. The pre-market action isn't fantastic. It's okay. Back to the things we were looking at. If you look at the minute by minute volume, it's a little bit spotty here, but we know that it can trade well because, again, if I look at the average daily volume, it trades over 24 million shares a day. So I know that it's likely to get the volume, and it's definitely going to be in play today, especially with that very interesting drop and then overnight recovery of the stock. So Robinhood's on my list from earnings. One of the other ones we were looking at was IonQ. IonQ is a quantum stock, and as I said, not a huge revenue generator. Their earnings were not based on them delivering big bottom line, but they had a decent quarter, and they had some interesting acquisitions and market positioning that they were undertaking. So IonQ gapping up a little bit this morning. The price action's a little more spotty. This one would be more speculative if you're looking to play it. So slightly less attractive than Hood. Hood is definitely a better target in my opinion. Another one that we were watching last night was Snap, S-N-A-P, Snapchat. Snapchat also having earnings after the close yesterday. It was probably the biggest mover, the one that was giving us the most interesting price action after the close yesterday, whereas everything else moved within the expected range. Snap was one of the ones that moved outside of it. Now keep in mind, this is a sub $10 stock, so that stock price is another thing that sometimes limits the attractiveness of the stock to deep pockets, because they often like to trade things with a higher dollar value. However, it was moving well after hours. I noticed that after the very initial big pop, it's sold off a little bit, it's recovered half of it. Tough to tell if this one's going to be in play. This is a nicey stock. This and IonQ, oddly, both trade on the New York Stock Exchange. So that just means, again, wait for the volume after the opening bell. Snapchat is a tough one, Carlos. We've watched this in the past, as you know, and it doesn't often. You'd think it should give better trading opportunities than it does. So maybe hit or miss on Snap.
Yeah.
But, maybe a secondary. Anyways, of all the ones I've talked about, Hood is the best. All right, let's keep going. Lyft. Lyft was another one that had earnings after the close. They're gapping up here this morning, moderately. They're up about 6%. Low volume. I've seen Lyft do this a lot, where it typically doesn't get a lot of pre-market volume. So while the pre-market does not look good at all, I know that they get good volume on the day and can pick up once the opening bell rings. So again, Lyft with their earnings last night. I'll just mention a couple other quickly without going into the details. APP and ARM. So this is AppLovin and ARM Holdings, respectively, both sort of trading low volume, not doing much of interest. APP, a much higher price stock. They also had earnings after the close. So those were a few that we're looking at. One that you might be interested in that had earnings this morning was QBTS. D-Wave Quantum. So we had IonQ last night as a quantum company. We have Qubits, QBTS, reporting this morning. They not doing huge. Well, I mean, their volume is good. 2.6 million shares traded so far. They trade a lot of volume on the average day. They beat their revenue, missed quite significantly actually on earnings, meaning they lost 41 cents a share when they were expected to only lose 7 cents a share. However, as you can see by the fact that they're gapping up, nobody really cares. Nobody expects them to make money anyways. So the fact that they lost a lot more money can actually be seen as a good thing when you're in an early stage company like this, because it means you're spending on research and development, investing in technology, right? You're spending cash. As long as you've got the cash to spend, and it doesn't put you in a cash flow issue, then you're probably doing fine. So anyways, Quantum, QBTS, I think, Carlos, is probably the second best after Hood to watch this morning. So there you go. That's a big list.
I agree with that.
That's all.
Yeah. So it's a lot being released there, but yeah, I agree. The two, Hood and QBTS, and we could see if some other ones get going too. Are other ones in play as well? Sympathy, QUBT. Let me see. A little bit, not much. The volume is on QBTS today at that 2.6 million. So yeah, I'm gonna go with those two. Makes perfect sense. All right, friends. Let's move on to the gap down. Right. Let's see what's happening there. It's just growing. It was just a couple of tickers on here. Now we got a few more, as you can see. Let's start with the first couple, and then we'll work our way down here. DUOL. Hold on. DUOL. Here we go. Duolingo. Oh yeah, we know this ticker. We are down at 26% this morning. 814,000 shares traded. Peter, they're not feeling the love today. Look at this.
Well, we know the company. I don't know that I know the ticker that well, because I don't think I've ever traded them.
No, you mentioned this before. Yeah, you definitely have. I don't think we never traded it, but you definitely have mentioned it before. Yeah.
Yeah, I think because they advertised the heck out of this, and remember they had the whole kerfuffle with their mascot. They retired the mascot. They actually killed the mascot and then brought it back when they had this big public the reaction, because their mascot was a bird or something. Or anyways, I just remember they actually, like, rather than just retire it, they killed him, which was interesting. I mean, Anyways, but yeah, it seems to be that they reported earnings, and again, not something I was tracking. Apparently, they had earnings after the close yesterday. They beat their numbers, raised their guidance, and for the first time, we're over 50 million daily active users. So it all sounds good. Why gapping down? Well, they got actually two different downgrades from agencies that think that Duolingo might be sort of might have peaked, and that despite their positive, you know, quarter, are not going to be able to sustain this. I mean, the company data says otherwise. However, the analysts tend to have the ability to push this thing around. It's down quite heavily, 26%. So I don't know what to do with it. It actually looks good. I like the way it's moving. I like this type of gap down. The fact that it's in opposition to the earnings data means that this might have an opportunity to pop up. It's tough to tell. I mean, this closed at $260 yesterday, and we're right now sitting below 200. So lots of room to move. I feel like I want to watch it just to see what happens, but I don't.
Hmm.
I feels like a long shot.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Secondary. Let's do that. Let's put in a secondary
Maybe.
because it
Yeah.
this pre-market action does look interesting. Again, normally we would not trade this, but this pre-market action does make me want to look at it as well. So DUOL, 800 something, 834,000 shares traded. We'll definitely take a look at it. Wow, I'm just looking at all these new videos of this crash, man. It is just wild. Like of this UPS plane, like
Oh yeah.
more videos are coming
I
out now, and it's
I saw
just
that this morning. You're right. There seem to be a whole lot of them all around. This is the
yeah,
UPS crash in Tennessee,
UPS
right?
one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was watching. The guy had his camera running on the runway, and yeah, I think it's well. No, this looks like a
There's
slightly
a
different.
few. There's some more new
Yeah.
ones now, Peter. I saw the one on the runway.
It,
But now you
yeah.
got even cars that were on the road um, that have their cams going, right? Probably Teslas or
Yeah.
anybody's just got a
So
camcorder. Look at this one, shakes the ground. That is wild, man.
yeah.
Scary,
Yeah, it
scary,
was
scary.
like you
So
said. I mean, this thing unfortunately was loaded with tons of fuel because it was
yeah,
set to go to Honolulu. So,
it was
long
packed. It's a
haul
long haul,
flight.
man. Hmm.
Yeah, and whatever happened, I mean, clearly that engine was on fire through the takeoff. I mean, as you said, people love to speculate as to what the problem is. We don't know. Like
Yeah,
crash
yeah,
investigation
yeah.
takes a long time. Can you like it takes a lot of work to piece
It's
together
a
a
lot
plane
of
after
work.
something like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. So hopefully, things will get figured out there. But yeah, shame, shame. All right, friends. Let's continue here. What do we have? Next one on the list for us, Elf. All right, getting into the Christmas spirit here. Elf Beauty is the ticker name.
Mm.
Are people up with their Christmas stuff already? I guess some people, man. They already got the Santa's out and everything, full blown Christmas
No.
decorations,
Uh,
and it's just like it's too early. Is it? Am I wrong? Am I
yeah.
bugging here?
That I agree with you, Carlos. I know some people like the second that last trick or treater leaves, they're putting up Christmas decorations. For me,
Yeah,
December 1st. I want it to be special. I don't want it to be up for too long. So December 1st, that's when you do
yeah,
it, in my opinion. But
yeah.
I
We
mean, in
usually do it
Canada,
that weekend after Thanksgiving. We start taking things out, and then maybe like the second weekend of the second week of December. Actually, no, like December 1st. You're right. We start putting things up, but already, man, people are full blown Christmas trees out and lights in the house. I'm like, whoa, whoa, buddy, too early, too early. So I don't know.
yeah.
We'll do a poll
Anyways,
on that next. But give us a story on
yeah.
Elf. We're down here 23% to 429,000 shares traded. What's going on with this one?
Earnings late last night. And yeah, they're down pretty significantly, mostly because they had to reduce their full year guidance. So that never makes the markets happy when you call off your guidance. Their earnings, were not great in the quarter, and their full guidance, as I said, is causing some concern. We Elf is one of these ones that Carlos, it pops up when we do earnings. We look at it occasionally here in the pre-market show. I don't think I've ever traded this thing. So
Yeah.
it's not, we got so many other top targets here. I'm not going to put it on my list. I keep waiting for the day when it's going to move well, but this whole sector, usually
Yep.
retail is hard to trade. I like it just for whatever reason. Active investors do not like to play in this sector, right? As we know, tech is great. Talk anything technology, chips, AI, quantum, you bet, man, you'll get trading volume. Makeup, clothing, restaurants, harder. They just don't move as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
GameStop was the one exception maybe.
Yeah. Yep, agreed. All right, friends. Not much coming off the top of the list at least. Let's take a look at TAC today. So TAC down 17% here. Look at this ugly drop, man. Wow, no volume. 324,000 daily looks like it doesn't get volume throughout the entire day. You can see here how light it is on volume. It's been doing well overall as a stock. I mean, August, even July, down to $10, up as high as 1750, a little bit higher than that, and now back down to 17. Peter, this for us does not look tradable. Trans Alta is the name of the ticker, and it's not a low flow. 260 million shares flow. What's driving this lower today?
This is a Canadian power producer. I don't know them, but they looks like they had earnings. They also announced the retirement of their president, and the CFO is going to be, or sorry, of the retirement of the CEO, and the CFO is going to step up into that top role. I always find that fascinating how North American companies like to do this a lot, where the CFO is often the de facto second in charge, when theoretically they should just be the numbers guy, right? Not the business guy. And I used to love to fight with my finance people. The finance people, they need to know the business. There's no argument there, but they usually have a very different perspective on the business. And I used to, anyways, good fights in corporate. Usually it was with finance, it was with legal, and it was with HR. And I always had to remind them, you guys don't run the company. You understand? You're just here to advise us. Anyways, they like to think that they run the company, all three of those departments.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
anyways, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't look pretty here. Let's leave it alone. PRKS is next. Next, we'll look at. No, what is that? No, it's not PRKS. It's BKSY is that ticker. BKSY down 16%, 236,000 shares traded. Black Sky Technology, again, just does not really look tradable. Float on this one, 26 million, so a little bit on the lower side. Again, just not something we love here.
No. Specialty business services. That sounds generic. Anyways, I'm not sure why it's gapping down. I mean, they had some good news in that they reported relatively decent results in the quarter. They had a lot of new contracts that were awarded, but clearly the market's not buying it. So,
Yeah, they
did we
sure
see
are
these
not.
guys before?
Uh, I want to say we have, but maybe we probably referenced some kind of Terminator movie or something. Black Sky. I mean, this is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it
So
does sound.
yeah,
I mean, even if you
it's
go to their website, it says
yeah,
"Welcome to the next era of space-based intelligence."
right,
Uh,
right.
Gen 3 combines hourly revisit with very high resolution imagery and AI-enabled output delivery from space. I guess I don't quite know what they do. Sounds mysterious and creepy. Love it. Looks
Yeah,
like they do, yeah,
this is like
space-based imagery. Yeah,
space imagery
it's
surveillance on
yeah,
governments and
scroll down to the
businesses.
next picture where they're
That's
like
interesting.
the Grand Mosque in Saudi Arabia that they're showing in ports and
That's
stuff. And
very detailed. Who will need this
yeah,
besides? And then look at the people that
yeah,
they're targeting: governments and businesses.
I
Okay,
know. Yeah.
this is that
So,
sounds dangerous.
anyways, this
Oh,
is
there it is.
the era of you want to read what's on somebody's phone from space. Looks like Black Sky can help you.
Yeah, we could read your text. Um,
Yeah.
All right, friends. Let's see what else on here. Let's skip around a little bit. Let's see CarMax down there as well. Poll is out, friends. Is it too early for Christmas decorations? So poll is in. Let's see what the people say here.
Mm.
I think it's way too early, but again, that's just my thoughts.
Yeah,
And a
I
couple
gotta.
of, it's not like I saw
Yeah,
like one individual house, Peter. I seen a couple. I seen a couple, right? Like full blown. I just don't get it. All right, so let's get
yeah,
to the
and
turkey
people are
first.
referencing Thanksgiving. That's a U.S. perspective because I mean Thanksgiving's not an issue here. We had Thanksgiving like a month ago or a couple of
Yeah.
weeks ago, in October. And for me, it's just it's too early, man. You want it to be special. A month isn't a month enough? Come on, because
Yeah.
then at the tail end, Carlos, we can get to the other discussion. When do you take the decorations down? Because we have
I
friends that are like, they literally unwrap the presents under the tree and then the tree comes down. I'm like, come
oh
on, like
no.
let it
Oh
rest
no no
for a
no no
minute
no no.
here.
That
Or
is
they're like
brutal.
the 26th, they're like out, everything's put away, they're done. I'm like, come on, like chill out.
I mean,
Chillax a little
if
bit.
I get it if they started now,
Yeah, maybe.
if
Yeah,
they
see
start
that
now, yeah. By the
if you
time they
start
get to
now, then you're
this,
sick and tired of it. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I mean,
Yeah,
no,
the tree
I
comes
like a
down after
week
New Year's.
after,
I
a week
agree
and a
with
half
Steve.
after. Just let it linger a little bit. After the presents and yeah, let it linger
All
a
right.
little bit. We're not ready for holiday music. I'll tell you that much, but it's coming.
Oh my God,
Um,
please no.
It's always coming. All right, I want to see CarMax. It's on the list here. CarMax this morning, we were down 11%, 550,000 shares traded. Peter, I know this is on your list because we always look at it. Let's go there, and then we can hop around to whatever else you have as far as earnings or anything else that's making some noise that might be useful for us today.
Yeah, and this is I mean CarMax is one of the couple of again, a sort of a new segment, isn't it? Where they're sort of almost a virtual, I guess, used car salesman, sales company. Um, and they announced today that they were terminating their CEO and putting someone else in the place. And they're look, fall guy, scapegoat. I don't know. Could be the cause, but their Q3 earnings were significantly below analyst expectations. Oh, sorry, their guidance for Q3, their Q2 was below, and their Q3 guidance is below expectations. So basically, they're not performing. Is it the CEO's fault? I really have no idea, but it doesn't matter. Somebody had to take the blame. They're doing it. They also got a downgrade from two different analysts. So, yeah, looks like there's a little bit of turmoil happening over at CarMax.
Hmm.
So maybe this will be a good thing for Carvana. I haven't looked to see what Carvana's doing. Um, Carvana. What is their ticker? Can't forget what it is. CVNA maybe something like that. There we go. CVNA. No, they're also gapping down. Anyways, CarMax. Carlos, I'm not sure if this is one that we want to put high on our list. 500,000 shares traded, down 10%. I like the movement. Its daily volume is a little on the low side. We're only talking about 5 million shares, so um, I sketchy. But I like the
It
turmoil.
is.
I like trading things
Yeah.
short. This certainly feels like there's some bad news going on. So, to your question, your normal question, who's getting fired? We know it was the CEO. He got fired.
There it is. Very clean cut and clear. Look at this. I mean, it just tells you how bad the volume is at time. Even when they got 36 million shares traded, look how tight the range is, right? Yeah, they have a little spike, but they just even with volume, they're not a great intraday trading ticker. So I'm not sure. I do want to watch it just to see how things shake out here at the market open. I don't think I'm a trader, but just want to put it on here just to remind myself to go back and look and see if there's anything worth it. You can always just look at the scanners at tradingterminal.com. Look at that turbo breakdown, turbo break up, and turbo breakdown scanners can spot this one up as well. So we could be on the lookout there also. All right, Peter, what else you have here on the gappers list this morning?
Qualcomm gapping down. It was the third of the big earnings that we were watching last night. And Qualcomm made a pretty hefty move down at earnings. It's also made a little bit of a recovery, but not enough to get green here today. So their earnings weren't bad. They just decided to move down, I guess, off of the results. Their guidance was a little more. it wasn't, they didn't call off their guidance, they didn't reduce it, but it was at the low end of analyst expectations, and as such, it's considered too cautious. So Qualcomm, like I said, they're listed in the semiconductor space. I think of them as a phone company because that's how we first got to know them, right? When they were producing phone sets. I don't even know if they do that anymore. But they're sort of an equipment manufacturer, semiconductor type company, and I this is another tough one to trade. They actually can trade well, and they can move decently. They get about 13 million shares on average per day. If ever there was going to be a good day for movement, you'd think today would be it. Although volume is a little lower than I would have hoped at only 350,000 shares so far this morning. So, um, yeah, I probably it's well down on the secondary list, anyways, compared to some others.
Yeah, yeah. I like this one. Shaparar says we need to adopt Jewish traditions. We have rules for every holiday, like we build things on a certain time. That's interesting. Now, does anybody break the rules? And is it like one guy that he does it a few days earlier? Does that happen, or is that like looked down upon, extraordinary? I don't know, but that's rules. Yeah, rules. We like flexibility, but man, too early. Too early.
Too early. Yeah.
All right.
What does the survey say? We got a
Oh
couple
yeah, the
hundred
survey.
people.
Let's
Is
see what
it
we
too
got here.
early? Well,
I'm actually surprised that we're getting, Peter. We're getting a lot of people in the no column. I mean, I expect this to be, for my expectation, I expect it's going to be even lower than 20%.
well, almost a quarter of them out there think that it's okay to put up decorations in July. I mean, sorry, November.
Feels like July. That's how early it is. Feels like July. All right, friends. Thank you so much. While we're here, friends, hit that thumbs up and also subscribe. 40% of people watching are not subscribed, which is a big, big number. We could tell in the back end there's some people that are not subscribed there. So if you kindly subscribe, we appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. Also, it notifies you when we go live and when we do any kind of events, especially in the afternoon hours when we go live for earnings or anything else, any videos we release, any recaps from Andrew for our Lambus and Garbage Truck members. It does all of that. So thank you so much for that, friends. All right, Peter. I don't know where to go here, man. This gappers list not providing us a lot of good stuff. I'm gonna end up pulling up the usual suspects here in a minute. So, anything else you have under your sleeves there? What you got?
I mean, hey, look, I got more than enough topics or targets. See, look, I'm just having a drink. I don't know what's going on. No, we've got more than enough targets here. I think today I've got a great list. I don't think I need more. Nothing else from earnings point of view. I noticed some old favorites on there. Teva, we were talking about them yesterday. I see them back on the list. Novo Nordisk also gapping down
Yep.
here this morning. So I mean, depending what you like, there's all sorts of stuff out there with good volume. Like Novo's got almost 2 million shares traded so far this morning. So there's stuff with volume. I've got a pretty big list already that I think I'm happy with, and we haven't talked about any of the usuals. So NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, PLTR, Apple even. Right? I mean, all of those that we typically watch in the morning, they're all out there doing their things. Nothing huge. I think every single one of those I just mentioned is within 1% plus or minus. So they're really sort of hanging around net zero, roughly. So it may be a little bit of a quieter day, but that's okay. I love the quiet days to start. They give great trading opportunities midday. So we'll see what happens. You and I,
Yep.
I'll be drunk trading all morning. It'll be fantastic.
It'll be a lot of fun. Put some rails in place, man. Set that max loss ready,
Yeah.
just in case. It's not gonna happen. It's your birthday, gonna trade well, but things can go off the rail here and there. All right, I am gonna be looking at Nvidia. I will be looking at our usual suspects. Our gappers list today again didn't give us a whole lot that we like. And Peter, if you missed it earlier in the show, Peter explained what do we mean by when we like something. Right, he went into details. You can go back and look at that there. Also, go back and look at the beginning of the show. We had a nice slideshow for Peter. All right, it's Peter's birthday today, so
It was
happy
great.
birthday,
Thank you
Peter.
for that, Carlos.
All right, let's see what else. So I got Nvidia, I got Tesla, and Peter, did you mention any other ones that I missed that I want to add here? We have Hood, which is good. And oh, how about that POTR yesterday, friends? How about that? That actually traded very good. We took a nice view up breakout on that, broke out nicely, and took advantage of a nice pop there. So yeah, we'll watch these,
You,
and we'll see what we can get
uh,
out of it. Yeah,
Tesla also might be one that'll just be interesting to see how the stock reacts, if at all. Today is the big vote. I mean, look, most of the votes are already in, and I think we know how it's going to end. But I mean, there could be surprises. It's not like it's the overall voting stance hasn't been made public, but a lot of the big block voters have already publicized their votes, right? Whether they're for or against. We were talking about this in the chat room yesterday. I don't think we were doing it, Carlos, on our show here this morning. But for instance, the Norwegian, I can't remember what it was. Like it was something in Norway, the Norwegian Public Trust Fund, or that owns a whole lot of shares.
yeah,
I'm probably stating that wrong, but I mean the sovereign fund, Norwegian sovereign fund, thank you, which is a very deep pocketed. They very clearly came out against the pay packet, but some of the other big holders came out and said they were going to vote for. So this is individuals publicly, letting it known what their vote is going to be. So which means there's time to influence one way or the other. Um,
yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen. I think Elon's going to get his pay packet. Again, we're sort of making a big deal out of nothing, in my opinion, right? Because it is an amazingly large $1 trillion pay packet. However, there's a giant asterisk on that he only gets that money if the stock does some very aggressive things, right? Like I think
right.
Tesla stock literally has to triple or quadruple in price for some of those targets to be hit for him for him to be able to get anywhere close to the $1 trillion that is potentially promised. So, like it's one way or the other. I whatever. Like I think I honestly think they're milking it for the media. Right? It doesn't really matter at this point whether it's approved or
Yeah.
not. It's hey, as they say, right? All press is good press.
That's true. I mean, don't you want this guy behind that to move up the company, your value of your shares? I mean, it just makes perfect sense. So, yeah, if there's one guy you want to bet on when it comes to getting a company to where it can do
He's
better, it's him. So we'll see.
he's been a good bet. There's no
Yeah,
argument with that.
yeah. All right, friends, let's stop here. Peter, let's get over to our community events and announcements. Friends, you can always see what's happening for the next 2 weeks over at bearbootraders.com. Click on webinar, scroll to the bottom, and you
So
can
there,
see every single day on here. Today is Peter's birthday, Thursday.
yeah, there you go. But there's a lot more happening out here in the world, including our mentorship sessions that happen every Thursday. Today we're going to have 3 sessions that we usually do, starting at 11 a.m. with our trend trading mentorship session. Lenny's going to be leading that. At noon, Jared's going to talk options, as he always does in the webinar room. And then Thor's going to take over in the evening with his mentorship session. So Thor's always a great session, really helps you understand how he trades, what he looks at, and we'll help you with your trading as well. So don't miss that session. As you know, Thor is usually here with us on YouTube many days out of the week. And that's great because he adds great value. So those are your 3 sessions, 11, 12, and 8 o'clock today. Hopefully you will have the opportunity to attend. Don't forget, if you want to join us in the community, right, be part of this chat room and all the fun that we always have, then go to bearbulltraders.com and you can see the different membership options from the intro through to the elite annual. By the way, whether your decorations are up or not, you can still become a member. We'll let you in. We won't give you too much of a hard time. Just don't tell us about it, and everything will be fine. So, all right. Hopefully you joined. By the way, if you want information on the markets, you know who sponsors our show and where we get our data. We get it from Trading Terminal. That's what I'm looking at here on the gappers, up here and over here on my screens. I've got it in 2 different spots. Once the market opens, I switch over to the Atlas tool, which tells me where trading volumes sit. If you want to take advantage of all those tools, including the funded account that there's so much talk about, because everybody wants to know, right? How does it work? What do I get? Yes, it is a simulation account that Andrew will pay you real cash if you succeed in trading maturely and earning money in that account. Why? Because we're looking to try and help traders grow and promote that the growth of the industry and your own personal learning. So it's a good opportunity if you don't have the funding for your own account or you just want to give it a shot. Check it out. Make sure you understand the rules thoroughly. They're all posted. You can go to tradingterminal.com and find the details, but it's pretty cool. So um,
Sure is, my friends.
people are
Uh,
asking, does Nate have a webinar today for Market Atlas? I don't know. Does he?
I'm not aware, but we'll find out.
Let's see
All
here.
right.
Let me check. There is a webinar tonight on Market Atlas. Absolutely. It's happening in 9 hours, 43 minutes, and 18 seconds. I'm on Trading Terminal right now, Carlos. Maybe you could flip over there, click on webinars, and you are absolutely right, Dinesh. Thank you for pointing that out. So there is a free webinar happening this evening with Nathan on how you can use Atlas. I know people have been asking about this, right? How does it work? How can I take advantage of that and use it? Nathan will help you. So there you go.
Yep. Yep. There it is. There it is. And MVP. No, you did not miss. Well, if you were looking for my webinar, we did it on Monday. But the recording will be out, I think, today. Today, the recording will be edited and put up, so you'll be able to catch that as well. All right, friends, and we talk all about scanners, trading terminal tools, and all that good stuff. All right, friends, let's get to it. Let's get some levels in place here. Let's get ready for the market open. Slam dunk thumbs ups today, guys. We're sitting at 264. Today, we got to break the record, right? We really got to break the records, guys. So we got to show up for our good man, Peter. Remember, he gets paid for every single like that you press on there. So it's his birthday. We got to get the man paid, all right? So let's make it happen. All right, friends, levels. We'll start with our good buddy Hood, which can trade very well today. I'm hoping for some good activity, again, after earnings last night. So let's see. It doesn't look crazy explosive, very flat as far as gapping up or down. It's just hanging out near the previous day close. So let's see if we can break away either up or down. It doesn't matter to us as long as we can get some movement. I have the pre-market sitting today at 143.83. The low is over at a 139.63. So we're going to slam a level right over here. And then if we look at the bigger picture on the daily, we're surrounded again by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. You can see here how big these levels are. Here's your high of your pre-market. Look how much support and resistance you have here. And then here's your low of your pre-market. Look how much support you have as well as far as levels, right? Even resistance that can now become support on a couple of days there. So I don't think you really need to add anything towards the bottom. Towards the top, I think this area here, 147-ish might be a good level, 147.02. I'm going to put a level there as well. Let's head over to the next one here is going to be QBTS. QBTS also in play today. Beautiful pre-market action, guys, so far. Look at this. Nice up and down. Just trying to wrap itself around the previous day close here. But I like the way it's moving. I like the daily as well. If you look at this area support that we're trying to hold. So let's see if that can happen. As far as the highs and lows, you pretty much cover based on the last two trading days levels, right? So those are covered for you. Previous day closes on there. Let's look at something towards the top in case we're able to break either one of those. It will be 33.63. And just in case we get really aggressive here, guys, 36.38 is a good one on there. Towards the bottom, we do have 27.27, and I think that QBTS looking pretty good right now. It's one of the tickers that can trade very well, and hopefully today's the day. Look at pre-market action on NVDA coming back down towards the previous day close. So a lot of movement here. This is what we like to see. This is what we like to see. This type of movement in the pre-market, and we hope that this continues into the market open, right? So low of the pre-market for NVIDIA today, 196 on the dot. So we'll put it that level there. Towards the bottom, you do got that previous day close. In case we fall below that, there is not the best level, but 192.95 looks good. And then this the big level over at 190.29. Okay, so you're asking me what makes that the big level? Because you got a couple of touches here and area here and here. The more touches you have on a level, right, the more flirting that's going on here, the more action, the better, that stronger that level is going to be, right? So 190.29 has a lot more action than 192.95. 192.95 only has 1, 2 and 3, not a whole lot like this one does. And also the change in direction, right? Does that level hold? So if you go up and we go against it and we actually reject, that makes that even more stronger, right? So when you have that as well, look out for that. That's going to be a stronger level. You want to add more weight to a level like that. So we talk more about support and resistance in our education center at Bear with Traders. So if you want to learn more about those basic levels of support and resistance, you can definitely check that out. All right, let's go to Tesla. Tesla's another one here that's kind of, it's been trading so well. Even though this daily, I mean, if you look at this without looking at the intraday action, is so choppy. But within these days, we are getting 10, 7, $8 moves on a regular basis and very clean moves on top of that. So Tesla has been awesome to look at. 465, 45 is the high of the pre-market. The low is just bouncing off the highs from 2 days ago, this guy right here, so that's good. And then below that, you do have an area where it's a lot happening, that 455.86. Towards the top, we do have 473.85. And I think once you do those levels there, you're pretty set on Tesla. So we're looking really good here as this ticker goes. Last but not least, as we get ready to go, I see Andrew's got his list there for you guys as well over on YouTube. PLTR is the last one here. So let's take a look. PLTR coming back towards the previous day close, selling below that now. We had a beautiful VWAP breakout strategy yesterday on this one. 187 is the low of the pre-market there. Towards the top, you do have the high of the pre-market slamming into yesterday's high, right? So that's already set there for you. You can see, right? More touches on here makes that level more stronger. So the pre-market high is not there just because it's random, right? There's a reason why that is your pre-market high. Towards the bottom, we do have another area which is going to be 183.33, and then below that, you do have the low from yesterday. So that is PLTR, friends. Again, trading pretty good right now. 1.8 million shares traded so far. Peter, let us know what our team is watching. I see Andrew's got his list ready and some other folks as well.
Yes, indeed. He's got his list, and so do a whole bunch of other people out there. Sorry, I was just saying hi to a member out of Scotland. Say hi to my son. So there you go.
Very nice.
Anyways, people got their list in. We'll start with Andrew, who puts Hood atop of his list. EOSE, interesting on his list. Qubit, QBTS, which is D-Wave, Tesla, AMD, and NVIDIA. Brian, also trading live, has had Tesla, PLTR, AMD. Hoodie? He means Hood. Hood, QBTS, yes. And of course the market indices. Phil is going to be looking at AMD, Tesla, Google, and Amazon. I've got my list out. I'm going to be focusing on Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD, Hood, QBTS, Snap, and Duolingo. I might also keep an eye on Datadog, just because Andrew said so. I think he's got it on his list as well. Jared's going to be watching the dog, as well as Hood and Qualcomm. Oh, I forgot about Qualcomm. I gotta put that on my list.
We did mention
so many things to watch today. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't even keep up. I'm going to put it over here. Anyways, all right. Who else has got their list? Eamon's got a potential long on Apple he's going to look at. Brendan's got Marvell, MRVL, AMD, NVIDIA, Tesla, and PLTR on his list. Check out our list in the chat room if you're there. You can see what everybody's watching. Megan, for example, she's trading live with PCT. So she'll be over with her friends at the boot camp and trading with them. So whatever you've got, you know what? I said there's so many targets. Don't try and pick too many. Focus in on a couple of things that I think are going to give you good price action. You might pick the wrong one. That's trading. That's the way it goes. So don't be too scattered, and you should have a good day. All right. So with that, let's get ready. We're about 5 minutes away from the market open, and we've got every opportunity for some good trading here. Let me just need another sip.
This one for the road.
Now I'm ready. Yeah, now I'm ready.
Let's do this.
You can't get into the day without a good drink. That's how you start, right?
That's how you start.
Anyways,
all right, friends.
Yeah, have a good one.
Yeah, have a good one. We'll leave you guys with Andrew and Brian in chat. Guys, if you want to join them, head over to bearwithtraders.com. You can see Andrew and Brian trading live in our chat. So we'll continue right here on YouTube. All right, friends, give us a second to switch everything over. And
Oh, thanks, Andrew. Andrew's wishing me a happy birthday. That's always nice.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
All right, friends. Good stuff. All right, Peter, I'm going to take a quick break. There's one thing I got to take care of
Yeah, you
before I
bet.
trade here. If I don't take out that garbage, oh boy. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
go do
yeah.
that. It's
Yeah,
garbage day,
don't get
baby.
caught with that.
I thought it was Friday. I
You
was ready
know,
to celebrate, man. I was praying, everything like, it's a great day. But nope, it's Thursday. Be right back.
it's go get that garbage. You know, every time Carlos has to go get the garbage out, I think of the some of the opening scenes from Nobody. Have you seen that? Great movie, by the way, if you like action movies. Check out Nobody with Odenkirk, Bob Odenkirk. So good movie. But anyways, he keeps missing the garbage truck. So I think of Carlos. Guys, if anybody's out there part of the community or thinking of joining and has taken the trip, we are just over 3 weeks away from the Thailand trip. Can't forget about that. Andrew and a bunch of some of our mods and a bunch of our traders are going to Thailand. They're going to be trading live. They're going to be sightseeing. What an awesome trip. So that's going to be pretty fantastic. I'm looking forward to that for them. We'll be back here, hold down the fort. Carlos is heading out to Thailand. So he's going to have a lot of fun. So should be pretty awesome. Should be pretty awesome. All right. I've got all my stuff queued up. I'm looking to see what's going to happen at the Open. I sort of like Duolingo for a Rising Devil, which means it would pop up and then drop right at the opening bell. It's popping up a little early here, which is not always what I want, but we'll see. I mean, it's down 26%. It's been down a little bit more than that, so I think there is a good opportunity for it to move well for us. So we'll see what happens. We've got Datadog, which had an interesting pattern here this morning. I'm not sure what to expect. And Snapchat. Snapchat also potential rising devil, right? We need it to pop up and then drop. Now, this is a much more modest mover, being a stock that's under $10. So, just set your expectations accordingly. Also, it's a NYSE stock, so you got to wait for that volume to come in, right? Always remember that. So, I'll be keeping my eyes on these stocks as they move here this morning. And I also find it very interesting that NVIDIA has fallen back below the $200 mark. So spiked up over there on, what, a week and a half ago? And it looked like it was going to hold nicely above 200. And it did until today. So now it's sitting at 196, $197. And most of that was a big sell-off that happened last night into the close. So let's see what we get today, because it could actually be a pretty weak day for it, but tough to tell right now. So whatever you're trading, oh yes, I got to call up my trading terminal, make sure it's set on the right things. Yeah, Qualcomm is the other one. I don't know about Qualcomm. I'm not sure what to expect of it. It's looking pretty bearish right now on Qualcomm. Let's see NVIDIA. What does the level 2 on NVIDIA look like? Pretty balanced, actually. Little more bearish than bullish, but it's always tough to tell when you're looking at these exactly what to expect. Here we go. There's my alarm, which means we got a minute to the market open. All right. A little bit of fortitude. I got to finish this up. I don't have much left. Mm, mm, mm. Good thing I had breakfast right before this. I've had scotch in the morning on an empty stomach, and that it could really go right to your head. So let's see what we're going to get. I don't. There's just so many targets. It's tough to know. Don't forget we have Tesla too. That is interesting with the vote happening. It's again it seems to be more of a media event than it is anything else, at least in my opinion. But we'll find out. All right, here's the bell, everybody. The opening bell is happening. Watching. Oh. Oh, I was too slow on Duolingo. It did get a drop here, but I don't want to go chasing this thing. Wow, big spread. Big spread on it. Pulled right back
Yeah.
up.
Gotta be careful on that one. Oh man.
Yeah.
Get it go. It's gonna go.
Yeah, it
It's
moved
a
up a
great
little
rising
early.
devil, right?
Exactly what I called it. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah,
So
yeah. That's
yeah,
nice.
that's it. Just it moved a little bit early. So I would rather if that move happened in the first 2 minutes of the market rather than the few minutes before the market opened. But um, yeah, I can't chase it now. A good $4
Yeah.
move here, but I didn't act fast enough. Look at Tesla move down initially at the open. NVDA and AMD also moving down. So we're getting some of the big dogs moving down. Speaking of
Yep.
dogs, what's the data dog doing? Well, it's going
D
up.
dog. D dog.
The
D dog.
dog.
I don't have that on my
Fun
list.
to
Let me add it
say.
here. Yeah.
Fun to say.
Reminds me of Norm used to watch this stuff all the time. I used to
Yes.
love that
Yeah,
ticker. Every time I hear
he
it mention
did.
of him. Yeah.
Yep. There's a few of them. Etsy and D-Dog are two of the big ones that remind me of Norm all the time. I hope Norm's doing well. If you're listening, Norm, I hope you're having a great day.
Yes, yes, D dog. Duolingo. You come selling down here. All right, Francis. Patience, patience. Wait for your
Hmm.
setup. Wait for your entry signal. You saw Peter not take
Yep.
something because he didn't get his entry signal
Yeah.
the way he needed it. Don't chase.
Who is
Just
who is Norm?
patience.
Morpheus is asking who Norm is. Norm was the guy that did the job that I'm doing before I did it. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
he was Carlos's sidekick for the inception of this show through the
Yeah.
first, I don't know, year or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's the OG, yeah. At least for the pre-market show, absolutely. All right, Nvidia's back up at VWAP here, so it's made a little bit of a recovery. Duolingo's also made a little bit of a recovery here. So let's see where
Oh.
Nvidia's going to go.
Oh. And Nvidia. Nvidia looks good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like this pop up here above the VWAP. Um, could be a 1 minute breakout. Not the cleanest engulfing because it took two candles to do it, so not the cleanest. But
Hmm.
let's see, we got a combinations of things here. If I can get a 1 minute ORB, a
Andrew's
VWAP retest, that could be great.
Andrew's long Nvidia.
Let's see
All right.
here.
So, watching Nvidia here, both Andrew and Brian in the chat room have gone long on
That's a great
Nvidia.
trade. Yeah, that's a great
It's
trade.
we'll see. Hopefully they get the move. I didn't
That's
have
a
the guts to. I was considering
ah,
jumping in and following them, but I thought,
me too.
I'd just be following. I wasn't really trading my own strategy, so I'm
Yeah,
just as happy to be sitting and watching. Interestingly, Duolingo turned out to be choppy. It did that great drop off the open, but then it came pretty much right back up to where it started the day. Now it's right back down again. So
yeah.
uh, it's a little
I'm
little
waiting for
difficult.
the Nvidia pullback. I want to trace for either a 1 minute ORB, which would have been nice for the
Mm,
pullback here, and then the continuation via breakout. Now we might be getting into a 5 minute ORB, but I can't chase it here. Andrew's in this area here. He's in long. I'm assuming Brian's around in
yeah.
the same area as well. I didn't
Yep.
hear Andrew take this trade. If I would have heard it, it probably would have gave me the confidence to jump on in. But I
Yeah,
didn't
well,
hear.
you
Oh,
can
he took
see it
it.
on his screen, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I see it
you're
now.
exactly
Yeah,
called it where he's in there. So absolutely, it's
yeah.
Nvidia's having a little trouble getting up higher here. So
I expect what I would like is a pullback to the VWAP and then this breakout, because then that will give me a chance to get in for
mm,
my VWAP breakout. Um,
right.
so let's see here. Here, I would love to see the hold of the VWAP. It's got a hold above it, and it can give me a shot to join these guys on this trade here. We don't want to go in below the VWAP, though. That's no good. We want to hold here. Hold.
Nope.
Ah, you dirty dog. Dirty dog,
Speaking
NVIDIA.
speaking of the dog, well, the dog's doing well though.
Oh, yeah. Dog
D-Dog
is doing
still
very
pushing
well.
higher. Yeah, see, NVIDIA did not
Hey, look at
burst
that.
higher. I just gonna
Ah,
get some water. My water's
yeah,
empty. I'll be right back.
go for it. Go for it. Um, Nvidia, you suck. All right, let's see. Well, yeah, Nvidia's not playing nice. See if we can hold this 190, but even that looks like it's struggling. Um, you guys are mentioning Hood. Oh yeah, we have Hood on our list. Hood. Oh, that could be. I like this strategy here. It could be a nice 5 minute 5 minute breakdown here. Better entry would have been up here though. We're past the optimum entry point for this trade. So here's a beautiful pullback. You get in on the break here, and then you're looking for this area as the target. Um, I missed that entry. I missed that entry. Yes, I'm not gonna chase it.
Yeah, Hood. I didn't see.
Hood, yeah, Hood would have been great at 138. Any entry around 138 or above, you're up $1 already, and now it's gone. Okay, see what we can actually trade. Tesla messy. It's just up and down, retesting that previous day close. That could be a nice one if it regains the previous day close and it stays above it. You got a lot of buying pressure here on the 5 minute. Look at this. There's a lot of buying pressure, so I do like that. Maybe an engulfing on the 5 minute. This could be a previous day close breakout stop loss at VWAP. I'm gonna go long Tesla. Let's see if we can. This is the fourth test trying to get above the previous day close. Let's see if we could break through here. Guys, don't take a boatload of shares. Give yourself room. We're gonna try to make our money here on the move. The high of the pre-market is 465, 462. I mean, right? No, 465. So you know what? You don't need to take a boatload of shares. Let's just take a little bit and let's see if we can actually get the move. It could be a $2 move on this thing. All right, here it is. We're getting a nice little pop. 464. I didn't take that many shares, so I want to see if I get 465. I'll be a happy camper. So let's see. 465. Love that setup on the 5 and the 1. Both look really good. So let's see. 465. Keep the momentum, my friend. Keep it. Keep it. Keep it. Step on the gas or on the electric pedal.
Yeah, interesting. I
Electric
was looking
pedal.
at I was looking at NVIDIA for a short if it held
Yeah.
below the VWAP, and it popped above the VWAP. Andrew went long, and that sort of negated my short setup. So we were
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
sort of seeing the same thing, just looking at it from opposite sides, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. And which one is this one, Peter? Which one? And NVIDIA?
NVIDIA,
NVIDIA.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Tesla. I want 465 because that will make this trade so worth it.
There goes NVIDIA. See if we can get over 197 and hold this time. NVIDIA is interesting. It is pushing higher, but the orders are stacked to the downside in NVIDIA, so I don't know where this thing wants to go. It looks weak to me, but it's holding here. All right, what do we got? The data dogs finally stopped moving higher, it looks like, at least in the short term. Hood, you're right, Carlos. Wouldn't have been a huge move, but it would have been just a good signal there on the underside of VWAP with the drop. Too bad we missed that.
Yeah. Take a look at Hood here. Yeah, look at that. Hit the target, man. This was a good setup on Hood there. So it's unfortunate, but it's okay. All right, let's see here. Tesla coming back to the VWAP. My stop on this is 461. That's why I want to get a 465 to at least make this worth the risk. But let's see. It's not playing against us right now as it goes right below the VWAP. That looks very weak. Looks like it might not hold. So let's see. Where's Atlas? Atlas, what are you telling us? Where's our beautiful Atlas? Uh, let's see here. All right, Atlas. That's both. That's both. There it is, 461. So we're right at our stop. Yeah, we'll have to jump out here. We didn't get our move here on Tesla. There it is. So we're out on our good buddy. We didn't take a lot of shares, so we had a big stop. So I wanted to have 465. But let's see if it comes back up above that previous day close. Maybe we can get something going. Let's see, NVDA.
All right. I am short NVIDIA at VWAP.
Oh,
Here as it
nice.
broke, I was looking for my move down. Obviously, I want to get it down 196 would be my first area for a partial. And because I
I
see
like
orders
that
down at
trade.
195, so I think we should be able to get to 195. Here's 196. I'm gonna take a partial a little early. Let me show you guys on my screen here. Ooh, come here.
Yep, I have your screen
Go.
up.
There we go. So you can see my entry.
Oh,
My
nice drop.
my
Nice drop.
stop was right up above those candles there, 197.20-ish. So that's where I was putting my stop. But it said now it looks like hopefully we can get low of day. Previous day close 195.20. And I said there's a whole lot of orders sitting right at 195, so I'm hoping we can get down there. I will take a partial at the previous day close because that's an area where it often likes to bounce. You can see it already did that this morning, right? Basically setting the low of day. So we'll see. I'm gonna move my stop down here.
All right. Wow, Peter, you're gonna get the move here. Previous day close coming up on this thing. Very
Yep.
nice. Uh, Mr. Do. Yes, my email address Carlos at
I'm gonna take a partial here.
bearwoodtraders.com. So bearwoodtraders.com. I'll put it in here for you. You can email me. I am up to this. I'm happy to announce public service announcements. I am within 40 hours of my emails. That's where I like to be. No emails past 40 hours. So you should have got responses from me in the last 2 days. I've been tackling those emails. So if you hadn't received something from me and your email is older, resend. All right, I'm back long Tesla above the previous day close. Let's see if we can get 465 now. So let's see. I'm back long Tesla. Let's see if we can get the move going here. And NVIDIA for you is working lovely. You take another partial? You did? Oh, man. Nice, Peter.
I
First
did,
trade,
yeah.
Peter? This is your first trade for the
Yep. First trade of the day.
Nice. Awesome,
Yeah.
man. Awesome.
And this is,
All right,
I find
long.
that my trading works best when I just wait for my areas. This is not a typical trade for me actually, but I'm working on this type of strategy, so
Yeah.
it's you're back long, okay.
Yeah, back
Here
long.
Here we go. Here's the previous day close on Tesla. Here we go.
NVIDIA.
NVIDIA, sorry, you're right. So if it comes back up above that previous day close, I'm going to take a partial. Otherwise, I'm going to wait for 195. NVIDIA, come on, NVIDIA. Hit the 195. I see a bunch of orders stacked there. Okay, taking that partial. Looks like it might be bouncing here. See what it does. This is great. Good way to start the day.
Yeah,
Happy birthday
Peter.
to me.
Oh, finally. Come on, baby. Okay. I think Tesla's in for a big move. I think I'm being probably a little greedy. I got to take a partial. 465. Let's see. Happened so fast. I was typing. Okay. See? There it goes. All right, partial
Oh,
on
look at
Tesla.
that.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So we are in same number of shares. So we need to take more shares to cover our loss. We're not going to do that. We're going to risk the same amount. So we are slightly in the green now because the first trade, now this trade right now unrealized is covering our loss. So that's what we want. And now let's see if we can get a little bit more, right? So you're not gonna win every trade. You're just not. It's not gonna happen. But if you could have more winners than losers, have that good risk to reward. At the end, it averages out, right? Averages out. So a couple of
Here,
partials
show us your
here.
trade.
Oh yeah, here it is. Sorry about that.
Okay,
Here it
there
is.
you go.
So first one didn't work out, stopped out. Again, we're looking for 465. Second trade, but back above the VWAP. This one worked out nicely, even 467. So let's see if Tesla can get us going here. So, Beth, you did having a great week. I'm very glad to hear that. How many trades you took? If you're having a great week, I would love to hear how many trades you took. Because what I realized is a lot of traders, when they have a great week, they have the least number of trades possible. Sometimes, right? Because that means they took quality trades, they didn't overtrade, they were very, very focused, and that's important. You just have one trade. Well, I think you can have more than that, but one trade is good. You had one trade, had a great week. I take it. It's a heck of a trade. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And there's nothing wrong with that. All right, friends. Now here's where Tesla's gonna start paying off for us if we can get that 468. Uh, let's see here. Tesla, you can do it.
All right.
Went back 464.
Wow.
Uh, all right. Peter, are you considering adding to your trade
It's too
for
early.
short?
Every time I've added this early, it's always stopped me out. So no, and because my break even right now is also too close into the price action. I'm only 50 cents above where we're sitting right now. So if
Mm-hmm.
I added, it would bring my stop in too close. I might get stopped out anyways. So I'll just wait and see. Just
Yeah.
wait and see
Yeah.
what's going on. Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean,
Um,
this is a fairly I mean, Nvidia's still green, but that's only because it had such a heavy drop yesterday. We got to keep that in mind, right? I'm looking at that big drop yesterday. I mean, most of the day it was hanging out at about 201, and then it was
mhm.
only the last hour into the close where it dropped from 201 to 195 where it closed. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
201 is a reasonable place to expect Nvidia want to get back to. So if I get stopped out, then I get stopped out. But uh, I'm hoping that VWAP provides some resistance and it goes back down.
Yeah. Yeah. Tesla's pulling back here just slightly above our break even. Deciding whether I keep at least previous day close. I got the VWAP and the previous day close just right below my entry. So I'm deciding whether I stick around a little bit because I think that we might be getting a bounce here, or should we get out of break even? So I think I'll hold for the previous day close. Let's see if
Wow.
we can
Look at
hold that.
Nvidia just move right back down.
Oh, nice, nice. Did you add on it or no?
No, I didn't. I didn't, but I could have. Well, no, again, my it was unfortunately just too close to my break even to add comfortably, in my opinion. But we'll see. It could still come up and take me out. But I'm hoping it goes red and stays red. What else we got? What else we got? I don't see much else at the moment.
Oh, same. Um, Melanie, you are obsessed with Microsoft, but that's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing. Uh,
It's good to have, it's not bad to have a specialization. I think
yeah,
trading the same stock or the same few stocks over and over again can give you confidence and
yeah.
familiarity. Just don't ever assume you know what it's going to do. That's dangerous. So there's a fine line between, having confidence and getting familiar with its price patterns and,
Mm-hmm.
when you go too far, it's when you say, "Oh, I know what it's going to do next." Because that's usually when you get stuck, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you
It's usually
lose big
when it
money.
bites you. Yeah,
Yep. So here we are. We're red again on NVIDIA. In hindsight, you're like, I'm thinking, I should have added, but oh well.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
looking great here. Now it's moving lower. Selling selling off heavy. Look at that. Still in the short.
Nice, nice.
So I was able to ride out that pullback.
Good job, Peter. Good job. I'm in Tesla. It's right at that 461 where it stopped us out last time. I'm not sure if it wants to go up or down here. So we're at 461. Let's see if we can get high here on Tesla. I think this thing is just gonna wrap itself around the previous day close. I think it doesn't really know what it wants to do. Doesn't want to go high enough. It doesn't want to go low enough. It's just kind of back and forth between this previous day close. So I don't know. Very, very weird activity out of our good buddy Tesla. PLTR, Lucien Dino. PLTR. Let's see, PLTR, good buddy.
All right.
PLTR. Oh, wow. It's a big drop. It's a big, big drop.
Took another partial here on NVIDIA. Oh, look at that. It did get through 194. Little patience. I could have got a better fill on that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful trade, Peter, man. Nice. Very, very
Nice.
nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. Oh,
Yeah, it's good. Great way to start my day.
yeah, yeah. I like it. I like it. Uh, listen, this Tesla doing? Is it a VWAP breakdown to go short, or are we really trying to get above the VWAP? Mm-mm-mm. Go either way here. Looks like a short. Looks like a short to me.
Hey, Jose, absolutely. You opened a funding trading account. The learning curve is steep. The amount of buying power is addicting. Well, yeah, use your judgment there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're
It's
you're getting the static again, Carlos.
Yeah, I don't know when it decides to do that. Let me reset it. You know what I do is just reset the mic and it works. So give me a second. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think all these
Usually all you have to
wires.
do is
Yeah, all these wires get crossed. I don't know what. I got so much stuff going on here.
it's good right now. You sound good
Yeah,
right
I
now.
reset it
That's all.
already. Yeah, I just reset it.
Okay.
It does it real
There you
quick.
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
Okay.
hackers. The hackers getting in to try to see what we're taking before it goes out to the YouTube fans and in public, and that's the hackers. They want to see what we're doing. Mm.
Microsoft really is just moving down all morning here. Big move on Microsoft.
Yes,
PLTR moving down. Andrew's trading that. Hood.
nice.
Hood. Carlos, that trade on Hood still would have, it looks even better now. If
Yeah,
we'd,
yeah.
if only we'd been there. But
I'm
see
actually
Hood moving down here. It's
I
moving
actually
down quite
flipped my
heavy.
position on Tesla. Let's see. I don't like
Oh,
flipping, but yeah, I hate doing that. It's not one of the things that I'm
oh,
good at. but I did flip. I am short. Um,
Oh,
I
okay.
waited. I waited too late. I
Carlos is
should have got
short.
in. Yeah, I should have got in 461.
Ah,
I was thinking about getting it in here, and I waited a long time to make that decision. So
yeah.
not ideal. You can see it here.
No.
I got the stop
Risk is
out.
you're at a bounce point.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah. This is
know.
not the best, but let's see. Here would have been just an awesome flip. I mean, this is the flip.
Yeah.
This is the entry. VR breakdown, pull back, and then the drop down. But we'll see. See what happens. See what happened. Waited. I definitely waited too long.
There you go. Oh, there you go. Come on,
Looking
NVIDIA.
for
Let's go, baby.
NVIDIA's paying nicely, Peter. Love it, man. Look at this go here.
I'm taking another. Gonna take another partial here.
That is
This is
a
great.
beautiful trade. Look at that
It's
VWAP
great.
retest and just the weakness straight down. That is awesome, man. That is an awesome trade. POTR, you guys called POTR. Hopefully you took it. Should have got in with you guys in that
Yeah.
POTR. That was very clean. That was very clean.
Andrew took it for sure.
Yeah.
So
Let me look at Andrew's. Oh, that's a beautiful trade. So here's how Andrew gets in on his VWAP breakout. See this right over here. Beautiful entry, right? He gets in more in the closer to the VWAP, right?
oh
So that's an awesome trade, man.
yes.
Look at that. Look at that. Wow.
What a great morning.
Yeah, Peter,
I
it's
have
your
extra
birthday, man. It's
reason
got to be a great
to be
morning, great
happy.
day.
I know.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? Traditionally, I was a little apprehensive because traditionally I have not always traded that well on my birthday. So,
Okay.
so that's good. That's good. Just stayed focused. I was trying not to force it today because you know what happens,
Yeah.
right? When you have like the holidays and stuff, you get excited, you start forcing
You
trades.
start feeling good.
Start-
You start feeling too
Yeah.
good, and I don't want to say cocky, but it's
Yeah,
just
well,
nothing can
that's
go
the
wrong type feeling.
Right.
It's not good.
That's
And
usually when things go wrong.
and this is when things go wrong, or you let your guard down a little bit too much, right? And yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want that. So that's vacation trading for me. So I don't trade on vacation as much as I used to anymore. I used to take my laptop, take everything, and I still take my laptop, but I don't actively trade because you're in a good feel type mood and you start doing things that you normally wouldn't do. So it's I rather enjoy the vacation, enjoy the time off. Time off is important anyways, and I'll leave the trading for when I get back to my house. So
Well, thanks, everybody. And Nicola, it could be because of the whiskey too. That might help. I mean, I didn't
I
have
bet.
well, I had a house pour. I don't even know
Yeah,
what my
yeah,
house pours are anymore. It's probably about, you know, three three
yeah, yeah.
ounces. I don't know. I don't
That's
measure.
that's modest.
I
That's
just
modest.
I just pour. I call it the house pour.
Yes, yes.
I just know it's always funny to me because like I'll have a bunch of these glasses and I just pour what I pour for myself and a friend comes over and I pour and I give them like maybe it's that full and they look
Yeah.
at it, they're like, oh my God, that's a whole lot of whiskey. I'm like, really? I thought I gave you a light pour. So
Yeah.
it's like for me it's very very different, I guess. When you and then I go to a bar, Carlos, I go to a bar and I get a glass of whiskey and like it barely covers the bottom of the glass. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh,
That's all I
yeah.
get
It's
for like 20
and
bucks?
and, and
Like,
if you get something decent, you're paying $18. It's wild. And this is why, like, again, I don't mind going out, but I'm not a cheap guy. I'm not cheap, but I I like I don't like to get robbed. That's the thing. I don't like getting robbed. You
yeah.
charge me $27 for a good whiskey, good scotch, and you give me this. You're robbing me. You are robbing me, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
I do not. So
I am don't worry. I haven't stopped watching NVIDIA. I'm keeping my eye on it there. What's Tesla doing for Carlos?
It's
He's
doing,
green, but not by much, eh?
trying. Yeah, not by much.
Yeah.
We need to get to
Here we go.
457 will be
Here we
awesome. We're
go.
getting a nice drop here.
One,
Um,
193. If we can get below 193, I'll take another partial. And then I'm gonna have to wait for a while because I'm running out of shares here. This is
yeah,
good position to be in. But
yeah. 100%. Friends, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We highly appreciate it. It just helps out the channel. It really does. It helps out a lot more than what you possibly might know. So thank you for that. Where are the likes? I'm here. I don't see the likes.
come on.
399,
Oh,
408.
it's getting some
Oh,
support
nice.
here. It's
Nice,
getting
nice.
some
Thank you, guys.
support. Let's see. There's no orders here. Oh, 193, 92.
So someone was asking, so this one here, this is Peter's screen, right? So you see his NVIDIA tray there. And then when you are looking at this screen, this is my screen. I am short on Tesla, right? So Peter's short NVIDIA. I'm short Tesla. I'm looking for the break. I want to see Andrew's screen. This is Andrew's screen. Andrew's screen. He's, oh, look at AMD. My goodness. This thing
Yeah,
just
AMD's
highway
been
to
selling off
hell.
all morning. Yeah,
What?
very consistent.
Wow, that is a big drop all day long. And then Tesla, what are you doing? Do something for us. Like,
Yeah,
and the
I
AMD
know.
is
You're
dancing,
got.
Nvidia is dancing, and
Oh
Tesla's
my
not dancing
goodness.
for me.
I've got. No, I got my finger on the trigger here for NVIDIA. I was waiting. I wanted it to break 193. Once it did, I said if it pulled back up over 193, I would take a partial. And now we're heading towards 192. So I still haven't taken that next partial, just waiting to see how low it can go. And then I'll play the same game. If we get through 192, then I'll take a partial if it comes back up through it. Otherwise, I'll just let it go lower. So this is this
Wow.
is this is good. This is great.
Yeah, this is a
In
great.
fact,
This man. Ooh,
it's
the
really
the
selling out. I don't know how much
Bears
farther
are
it's
in
gonna
control.
go. I think
Yeah.
192.50 maybe I'll take a partial if it comes back over that. I don't know. It's I don't want to be too greedy. I mean, at this point, when you're up like $4 or $5 on it, you don't want to be too greedy for a couple of cents. But
No, no, yeah.
it's
Oh, okay. Tesla's finally doing some Tesla stuff. It has to
oh,
give
there
in.
you
I mean,
go,
the whole
Tesla.
market,
Oh,
yeah,
wow, Tesla.
got two parcels in already, guys. So this flip is working out pretty nice. I rarely flip my position, but if you look in here, we got, you can't see it. There's three triangles in there, very tight. Um, but um, but yeah,
Right.
this is working pretty nice right now. So let's see if we can
What
get a
happened?
drop. So two partials already.
What happened?
Let's
I
see.
never got filled. Oh, that's
What do you mean?
weird. I hit my
Yeah,
partial.
limit order.
You can see the arrow here on my chart, but it never actually filled me. So
Oh, yeah. That has
that's
happened to
weird.
me before. Yeah, that has happened to me before, Peter. And
So that
it's
so now it filled me on the way
yeah.
back down. So maybe this is an interesting that I left it on the screens. I don't know if you guys were able to see that or if you were showing it, Carlos, but the order sat there. So what happened is that's the challenge of using a limit. I use what's called a limited market order. So it sets a target price and then executes at market once that price is hit. So when I hit the button, it must have been moving too aggressively through the price, and it didn't give me the fill at the target. So it was only when it came back and hit that price again that I got the fill. So
Yeah.
if I just filled on a market order, I would have been filled, but at a higher price. So
Yeah.
that's okay. We're filled now. That's what matters. Did you get a fill, Carlos, at 455 maybe down on that
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
that
Got
bounce? Yeah.
that feel at
Okay, good.
454 70. So we're
Okay.
in there.
Yeah. So MVP, essentially, I consider them market orders because they execute like market orders. They almost always execute right away. That was a good example of one that didn't, only because the price moved too aggressively. Essentially, what it says is fill me at market, but within 5 cents of my target price. So when I hit the button, it's got to try and fill me within 5 cents of whatever price the stock is at the point at which I push it, which almost always, because the stuff I trade is very liquid, almost always gets me filled. Here was a good example of clearly when I hit the button, I was just at it just had moved enough that I didn't get that immediate fill.
Yeah.
So
And also, Peter, to add to that, think about the orders in line, right? So
yeah,
it could have been in your
right,
range, but there was orders in front of you that got filled and moved the price out
right,
of your range, right? So that it's
correct.
and this happens so fast, guys. So we rarely see that, but it does happen. It has happened to me before, and I'm like, what the heck just happened? And it's I have a five. I think I have five
My
cents or 3 cents. I'm not sure, but go ahead.
Oh, they're just asking some questions.
Yeah.
So they're saying if you have a hard stop, so it's different. Actually, almost every order I use is well, it's hard to answer that. So look, my when I move my stop to break even, I'm just checking now. I think I use these marketable limit orders
Yeah,
in
that's what
all
I use. Yeah.
cases. That's what I
Hmm.
always use. So basically, I say it's got to be within 5 cents. Let me just see here. Uh, No, so my move stop to break even is a market order. It's just market. So as soon as it hits my price, get me out, right? At whatever price it's at. So that's a
Hmm.
market order. All of my partials are these marketable limit orders. So fill me within 5 cents when my price uh, target or triggers.
Yep.
So again, I very rarely don't get filled. That was interesting to see, especially on something as liquid as NVIDIA. But hey, it happens occasionally. But it's not really a cause for concern. I mean, the worst that's going to happen is, I'm going to see a little bit of slippage. Or if I notice it like that, I could have exited and hit the order again, and I would have been filled. It would have been just a few cents away from where my target was. But I was
Yep.
leaving it to hopefully try and show you guys what that looked like. But all in all, I think the whole thing though happened in about what 30
It was
seconds.
fast. Yeah.
So yeah, it
Yeah.
wasn't that long.
Even less, I think, man. It seemed pretty
Yeah,
fast.
could
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Um, Guys,
So
thank you so
anyway,
much. 428 likes on the stream today. We'll love to get to 500. Our record, I don't know. This is not probably not possible. Our record is like 650. That's a stretch, I
mm,
know. But I want to break that one
yeah,
day. I want to break. And what better day to
yeah,
break it
that'd
on?
be great.
Peter's birthday. I mean, what better day
Yeah,
to do that on? So
I agree.
yeah,
There's no better day.
yeah.
Somebody's asking what is the funded account? So if you go to tradingterminal.com and you check it out, there's basically you could get a funded account. What it means basically you'd be trading in a simulator. But if you follow some rules, which are just, rules about drawdown, not losing too much money, over the course of the trial, it's a 3 month period, and trading consistently, you could get paid real money against that simulated activity. And we're really just trying to help promote people's trading growth. Go check it out. Go to tradingterminal.com. You can see all the details. If you look at the membership options, it will show you what the different options are there and how you can, what it looks like. I don't know where, Carlos, I'm not sure if you have a link to where the rules are, but there are
Oh
rules
yeah, yeah.
posted
No,
out there so you
they're
can
they're
understand.
yeah, they're right on here. We'll show you guys if you go to the simulator, and right at the top. Oh, let me click it again. You're gonna see a rules and regulations right on there. So right here next to your journal, by the way, if you want to access your journal, click on here and you get access to your journal. Can you guys see that? Yep. And then if over here are their account rules. So right next to the journal, click there, account
Oh,
rules,
okay.
frequently asked
There you go.
questions. It's right there for you. So
There you go.
uh so $99 is a trading terminal platform that gives you everything. If you don't want the funded account, you can have the simulator, which is these exact same tools. It's just not funded, but it gives you everything: the scanners, the atlas, access to some of the stuff in the academy, webinars. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff here. Replay simulator, you name it. you start adding all this. We did a webinar. We start adding all this stuff up in different places. You get Bookmap, you get Trade Ideas, you get a replay simulator from Dash to Pro. It amounts to almost like $500 a month. Don't take my word for it. Go out there and do the math and get these tools that are so professional that we have here. You're gonna save a boatload. And our tools, are made from these companies that are focused on scanners, are focused on Bookmap, so it's the same thing. You're gonna save a boatload. So yeah, check it out. Tons of stuff. And let's not forget the journal. This journal is really nice, guys. Get a journal. Good journal is gonna cost you $34, right? So everything all together. The funded account is separate, and you can join that for $2.99, I believe, if you want the funded account. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I mean, I wish when me and you started, Peter, back in 2017, 2018, we had these tools.
Yeah.
Would have been really nice. All right, here's Tesla. I'm gonna take actually, yeah, I'm gonna take a partial here just in case we do bounce. I did miss, unfortunately, a drop here to 454. We're having some fun, but it's okay. I'll take a partial here, and let's see if we can drop lower. POTR, Andrew crushed POTR. You guys crushed POTR. We called this earlier. This VWAP, beautiful retest and breakdown. I mean, it does not get cleaner than that. That is I wish I would have taken it. I don't know why I didn't take this trade. I don't know what I was doing.
I don't feel I was looking at it at that point, but yeah, it's a good move. And the previous day close is right in there too, so it broke through all of that and
it's perfect.
Had a big run.
Yeah. Perfect. Done for the day. Great day. 6+ Rs. That is beautiful. How about Coach Umberto up here? Coach Umberto on a $5. Is that are you trading a live account, Coach Umberto? You had a POTR trade. You made 1,100 on a 5K account. I mean, that's awesome. That's some really good returns. Wow. So
that's remarkable. In fact,
that is very remarkable.
Careful. Don't be taking too much risk.
Yeah, it's not normal, right? So take it from where it is, but that's pretty good, man. Congrats. Live account, awesome, man. So glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. So yeah.
Wow. You know what's interesting? Look. I don't know if you can get into the chat room there and pull up Paris's post. He just posted a chart a second ago, and
here's Paris's chart.
Yeah, and it's just interesting because that's the exact same trade position that I took on NVDA. So what he's labeled is basically where I entered, but roughly in there. Anyways, but look at how he added, partial, add, like just a different style, right? I mean, if you look at my trade, it's the same period, but it looks very different just because I've got a different trading style. Yeah. So, it's always fascinating to me when someone else is in the same trade, but they manage it totally differently.
Tesla's such a
thank you,
Tesla. You are such a.
Are there whiskey gods? I'm sure there's got to be some Scotch gods out there, right?
This a god. It's like a god or a day in the calendar for almost everything. It's just start researching. There's something for something.
some drunken deity out there, I'm sure.
Oh my goodness. Now, another partial here on Tesla, but it gets me upset. Like, why did you have to wait for me to take a partial to then drop? Like, you couldn't just whatever.
Oh, I don't like that. I love going to there's a website. There's a website called nationaltoday.com, and it tells you what is today, and they have all these ridiculous days, right? Like I'm calling it up right now. So here, I'll put it on my screen so you can see. So today is apparently National Men Make Dinner Day. Don't like that one, but all right. It is National Nacho Day. Oh, I can deal with that.
I could do that.
International Stout Day. Oh, whatever. National Cashback Day.
Some Guinness. We were just talking about Guinness.
Who creates these days? Like what the heck? National Saxophone Day.
Who votes on these things? Like You know, like
Come on. This
who
feels a
votes
little
on
ridiculous.
this? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, all right.
Dude, and who are
Tesla,
these
Tesla.
people? Birthdays. Here's the birthdays today. They've got all these people. Ali A, YouTube star. What does it take to be a YouTube star? Anna
I
Schumann. I
think you
guess
got to cap.
views, right?
Yeah, views and the subscribers.
Like, who are these people? Cohen Muse. I don't. Maybe I'm just out. I don't know who these people are. Anyways, TikTok star birthdays. All right. Emma Stone. I know her. Hey, I share a birthday with Emma Stone. I didn't know that.
Wow, very nice.
Hmm. There you go. Glenn Fry. Emma Rose Sutcliffe. I don't know these people. Should I know these people? Religious leader Carl Lentz. He doesn't look like a religious leader. Who is this guy? He doesn't look like a traditional religious leader, anyways.
New age. Harmon.
All right, whatever.
A nice butt takes it to be a YouTube star. No, that's not true, right? My kids follow these other kids that are just streaming. It's so
Well,
funny. As the stocks continue to collapse here, friends. Look at Tesla. A couple of parcels in. We got 450, 150. So we are happy with Tesla.
nice.
Seneca Marvin 1382. Welcome to the Lambos and Garbage Truck family, my friend. We are very very happy to have you. Appreciate you. So another video coming out this week again. Every week, guys, we have a video coming out for Lambos and Garbage Truck members, and we'll be doing a lot more pretty soon as well. We got a good guy back in the marketing thing, man. He's awesome. He works his butt off. He's doing an amazing job with these thumbnails too. They look awesome. So very very happy with the future of the YouTube thing here. Um, he has a video gamer, very good vids from when I was a kid. Yeah. All right, let's see here. What else? What else? Things are bouncing back now. So our reversal traders must be starting to get ready, right? Because things have gotten extended into this time frame now. So looks like there might be some reversal opportunities. Might be a little too early yet on some tickers, but you look like NVIDIA. NVIDIA has been actually holding here. This 192.95. This could be a good one. This could be a good one for a possible reversal play here. PLTR as well, trying to hold here. But again, I'm not a great reversal trader, so just be careful. AMD. Yes, AMD's holding here. Yeah, you have 240. What is this level that we have here? We have a 240 level on AMD. This is a... Where do we get this from? Look how we came right to this level. Like Andrew will say, these levels are magic. It's a daily level.
Magic.
And I just placed it at 240 based on here, and these are just areas, right? That's not really going to count, but just based on these 2 days. And look how it's holding there perfectly. That is beautiful. So levels are magic. NVIDIA at 292.95, 191. All right, so I'm just looking out for my Tesla. I might bail on it if we decide to start bouncing. So I got a couple of parcels in. What a great drop. So the best trade was to the short on Tesla. So.
Huh.
All right, 480 likes. You guys are awesome today. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Here's the webinar that Nathan is doing today in a couple of hours, completely free at trainterminal.com. So hit that join a free webinar there, and you can catch that in about a little less than 9 hours. He's going to be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Everything you need to know about Atlas. That's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, baby. Even Tesla's celebrating for Peter's birthday here.
Oh, baby. Now you're happy.
I'm very happy now. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Let's see if we can get... Another drop here will be awesome, but I am happy with this. Oh, what did I do? Oh, no, 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 no. I added. I'm just gonna sell exactly what I added here. I added by mistake because I
Whoops.
sold partial. What the heck did I do? I was too happy. This is the problem with trading when you're too happy, too excited. Yeah, too excited. I put my hands in the wrong hotkey. Um, but when you do that, you don't add a lot. My average is still pretty good. So let's see if we can break lower. Let's see. Because when you try to sell, it covers like I don't know how I calculate this. It's very very confusing. I gotta sit and think about that. But yeah, it's 10%, right? It's 10% that's adding, so it's almost nothing of what your open position is. So we already partial a couple of times, and yeah, so not a big deal, not a big ad at all. All right, let's see. Uh, all right. What else? What else? What else is happening in the world today? So do we know when Tesla is doing this vote? Is that a thing yet? Do we have a time, or it's just like secretly being put into some kind of box, like they do in the Catholic Vatican? What's the deal here? How do we find out if he got approved or not? You guys know? Oh yeah, after 4 p.m. I'm sure they don't want that during market hours. I'm sure that would be great for us because we could play the reaction, but yeah, after 4 makes absolute sense.
Oh no.
What happened? What's
Wait.
taking place?
Hold
What is
on. Just
happening?
okay. Sorry, I was just reading an article about new flavors of Oreos. Very important stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Careful.
They they said they were making Thanksgiving dinner themed Oreos, and I thought they were gonna make like actual dinner themed, but it's
Mm,
dessert flavored, like pumpkin Oreos.
mm,
Like, don't
mm.
mess with the Oreo, man. Sometimes you get it right the first time. You just
Leave it
let it
alone.
be.
Yeah,
You know, it's rare, but there are products out there that just they were right when they were created. Just let them be, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Uh, there's a factory here in New Jersey by their headquarters. I think it's I don't know if it's still there, but it was on Route 208. You could smell
Yeah.
the baking out of that thing. This didn't smell as great as you would think. But yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like yeah, it's not as
You
pleasant.
know,
It wasn't bad. Some
I
days
I know
it was really good.
I I hear you. It's funny, eh? Because some of the baking smells like they translate really good into open air. Others
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
The building in which when I worked with KPMG in the building we had, they had something a place called the Scone Witch, and the
Mm-hmm.
Scone Witch was like a coffee shop, and they made fresh baked scones. And
Okay.
for whatever reason, the when the smell of the scones got into the lobby of the building, it made me want to throw up every day. Every day I had to fight it. So I
Yeah,
actually, fortunately, I parked in the building, so I was able to go up through the garage. I never had to go into the main lobby. I could just go straight up. But I couldn't handle it. And other people did notice it. Some people agreed with me. It's just funny how, for different people, the smell was either, good or horrible.
yeah,
I guess it's like the whole debate over cilantro. Do you like cilantro, Carlos?
yeah. I do on certain things, not on its own. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, Because apparently it's a genetic predisposition. You either think cilantro tastes good or you think it tastes like soap.
Oh, really? So it's got
Yeah.
that dual thing. Yeah, yeah. I heard of stuff like that
Yeah.
before.
And I because I there was a woman who was a receptionist at the office, and she's like, it tastes like soap. She would not eat anything with cilantro. She hated it. And I was like, I don't
Really?
understand. It tastes great. Yeah, cilantro is awesome, but it's very polarizing. But it's a genetic. And they can actually trace it back. So if you like cilantro, apparently we are less genetically evolved than those that think cilantro tastes like soap.
Mm,
So it's an evolutionary trait that we haven't yet received, which I'm okay. So there you go.
look at that.
Nicola, so Nicola's like, it tastes like soap, but I like it. I don't know what to do with that. Maybe you like, I guess you could like eating soap.
Yeah. Is this updating live? Is this really live? I want to test. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I want to see if this updates for real, or is YouTube pulling my leg here? Let's see. Can anybody subscribe? Because 40% of the people that watch are not subscribed. It says updating live, but I want to see if it actually takes up. I don't see it moving. And I think it's been at this number for a while. I think YouTube is having some issues with all the little gear over there. If you subscribe, let me know in chat, but I don't see it moving. So this is not updating live.
I don't see the number moving. So
Yeah. I don't see it moving.
has anybody subscribed?
Oh, never mind. It did move. It does
Oh,
work. Yeah, look
oh,
at that.
okay.
Moved up.
All
Oh,
right, there you go. Okay.
so they're not joking.
All right, maybe it is.
All right. We got one. All right, there we go.
Yeah,
It's
it went up by
moving.
5. So there you go. Cool.
Somebody unsubscribed and subscribed. Come on, guys.
Someone's
Really?
out. Oh no,
You're
they're
testing
leaving.
it?
Oh no.
I love it. Almost to
Okay,
600,000
so it's
friends. That's
back.
going to be fun. That's going to be
Oh,
fun.
they're
So,
back.
yeah,
Thank
they're back.
goodness. We were
Everything's
feeling
back in
lonely.
order. We're
Yeah.
getting scared there for a second.
Okay, I don't show.
Yeah.
I can't handle that
Too much
live
pressure.
number.
Too much
And I'm
pressure.
worried, like, yeah, person by person. It's like,
Too much pressure.
thank you. We appreciate all of you being here, but
Oh, yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
that's too
Oh,
much.
man.
Like
I
watching
tell you.
every like, trying to read every comment. If
Yeah.
you're
It's
posting
like,
on social media, it drive you nuts. Anyways,
makes I'm clicking more to the left, to the right. Which way do I get the most more subscriptions? Drive you nuts. Friends, here it is. One thing that's moving in the right direction is Tesla, at least for me. So let's see. I added here a little bit, not a big deal. Our average is still way up there, close to the VWAP now, since we do have, again, the VWAP has sloped down, so that's good. Let's see if we can get down towards that 450 area. We'll take some more partials there. But man, what a great day. First trade didn't work out, stopped out. Second trade took a partial, stop at break even, a little bit lower towards our stop, and then we flipped our position because we saw this beautiful VWAP breakdown. We wanted it up here. We hesitated. We're not sure, but we flipped, and look at this beautiful short, friends. That's paid off pretty nice. Peter, here's your trade. You had a beautiful trade on NVDA from the top all the way down, my friend. That is nice and clean. And Andrew and Peter will be on a little bit later telling you what they did with a beautiful POTR trade that he had.
Andrew and Brian, you mean?
trade.
I hope.
What did I say?
You said Andrew and Peter will be
Andrew,
on.
it's your birthday. Everybody's Peter today. Doesn't matter.
Everybody's
Yeah.
Peter. Well, it's
Everybody's
good because I gotta take off because I got a buddy that's taking me for breakfast this morning. So I gotta
love that.
take my winnings and run, baby.
That's right.
No,
That's
I'm not
right.
all out, Jillian. I'm still in NVIDIA. I still have the trade running. You can see that on my chart. You can see where my stop is. I mean, heck, I've got $3.40 to the good right now. So I got lots of room for it to pull back and keep me in it. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to go to breakfast and come back and still be in the trade. And then I can maybe this afternoon look for some opportunities to add. But we'll see. It might come back up and stop me out. I'm okay with that if it does. But
Yeah.
pretty happy.
Nice, man. Really, really nice.
Well,
Here it is. Waiting for Tesla to give us another drop here. I think it's coming now. Here's the third attempt to this low of the day. And we're checking that 451 price tag. The low of the day now is 450.93, so it's way down here.
Yeah.
But this is where you see a lot of the support right there, right in this area. We're testing it right now. Atlas got to be looking amazing right now. As we're getting to this levels, I noticed that when we start getting to these like support areas, this is where Atlas really shines as well, right? Helping you identify levels of where there's some support. You can see that that area right here. We got a bunch of orders. So let's see if we could break. Oh man, this is looking a little funky. Let me reset it. There it is, nice and neat.
All right. On that note, I'm gonna take off to go for the
Yeah,
day. I'll be back for the close for all of our members in the chat room. So we'll talk to
awesome,
you
man.
then. Still
Yep,
nursing this NVIDIA trade. So thank you, Carlos. Hey, it turned out good, eh? I'm glad that
it
you got the
did.
Tesla
Yeah,
reversal to work,
yep.
and I guess I'm one and done.
Awesome, man.
So
That is
beautiful.
amazing. Go enjoy your morning, brother. We'll talk later.
Thank you. Take care, everybody. Have a great morning.
All right, excellent, my friend. All right, friends. So here we are. Tesla is looking to get the break. Atlas, you can see the orders right here. 450, tons of orders on Atlas. And let's go pick those bad boys up. And if we do, I will take a partial. There we are. It's dropping. We're dropping. There it is. Okay, partial there on our good buddy Tesla. So let's see if we could drop some more. Bids are still there. 450. See, this is a great example on how the strength right now, everything, the imbalance is towards the bottom, of the screen here. And if you guys are going to be getting ready for Nathan later tonight, I want to show you a video that you should watch before that webinar if you have time. That webinar is going to be in 8 hours, but this is great video. I shared this before, but I'm going to share it again. It's about the supply and demand that you can get from the level 2, right? The level 2 on that is a live visual. The Atlas gives you more visualization and history. There's an easier way to read the level 2, especially for newer traders, right? So that's the idea. So when you first start, I know it seems like a lot of information, especially that level 2, but this video here, which I'm going to copy the link and send to you guys, basically breaks down the level 2 supply and demand. And this presentation Andrew created 6-7 years ago, guys. This is old. I mean, look at me. I don't have a beer. Look at me. This is how old it is. Look at 2017. So he created this presentation. He's showing you guys the supply and demand and how it works. So very basic understanding of level 2, right? And to this day, this still works. So if you understand this, then when you watch the presentation tonight with Nathan, it's going to be everything's just going to click in, right? So you definitely want to do that. So I'm going to send you guys the link for this. I hear our good buddies coming in. Hey, good morning, guys. How are you guys today?
Good morning. Good morning.
Are doing
Doing well,
great,
thank you.
brother.
Doing well.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Glad to hear that. Let me get into the chat here.
Happy birthday
Yeah,
to Peter, Uncle Peter.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Peter, you're on mute.
No, Peter had to run. Yeah, he had to run because a friend is taking him
I
out
see.
for breakfast this morning. So yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
Peter started drinking at 8 a.m. Does his wife know
did.
that he's falling like this? He was having scotch at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Guys, AMD is breaking down. We were
Yeah,
thinking
look
of
at it. Yeah.
taking a trade on
Wow.
AMD.
We totally rejected VWAP on the SPY. Man, that was a trade I really regret missing out on. Damn.
So we had an amazing time, Carlos, in the chat
I
room. I know you
saw
also had a
that.
couple of really
Yeah.
nice good. Brian also had a couple of good trades. The best trade that I had was PLTR. So at the opening, opened up really weak and did a mini 1 minute pin range breakdown. On the pullback, I went short, but it quickly came back up above the VWAP and I got stopped out. So that was a small loss. It went up all the way to 190 and then really dropped below the VWAP, and the market atlas was really bearish on it. Went short on that, partial at 186, 187. On the way down, I added more, and then you see all the way up to 182. Came back up, partial more, added more again for 180 from 182, and I have ordered at 181 right now to get filled. And it looks like it's really going that way. And the reason that we're pretty happy with this is because Market Atlas is really helping us to see the orders down there. So we're going toward the orders down there. As you see here, we have one very serious order at 181 that we hope we're going to get in there. So it's pretty bearish right now. The market is also pretty weak. So that was yeah, that was the best trade that I had, and I still actually have some position in there. So I still have 2,500 shares left in there. So looking forward to get a little bit of a bigger drop on that. So situation is pretty good in our bank account.
Yeah.
Brian, what did you trade?
Yeah, I traded in NVDA, and we got chopped up a little bit on that one, but I managed to with some partials got out there, some profit. But my best trade was an options trade on SPX, which is SPY, or the S&P. So it when we started to break down there around 940,
Mhm.
I bought some puts and got a really nice move from about $16 to $20. So on that trade, so that was quick, very quick trade, couple minutes.
Yeah, it's
It's
amazing. All right, so
probably my best trade.
yeah, it's amazing. So AMD is going down. I might actually take another reversal on AMD. But as of now, I want to see what's going to happen here with PLTR. Again, we have the market atlas here as well on PLTR. If you want to see, so the order at 181 is very clear. Usually you're coming to these orders and to get that order. For the people who want to learn how to use these, in the market atlas, there is this academy education that you can click and you get that. Plus, the Trading Terminal has a free webinar today about market atlas and how traders can use the market atlas free. Check your email. We're going to send a reminder today. And LTR is going to go through 181. I got filled. Beautiful. Lovely,
Wow,
guys. Lovely.
we're breaking to no new lows
Yeah,
here on the Qs and the SPY.
nice.
This is really amazing. Damn,
Nice. 180. Come on. So I'm going to go
that
to put
was
some order at 180 now.
yeah. Tesla's at low now. Nvidia's breaking new low. PLTR new low. Man, we're really market's really selling here.
Yeah, everything is great. Any question, guys, about the trade that we did on YouTube? We did discuss all of our trades. We answered a lot of questions in the chat room. Anything on YouTube? All right, so 180, I got filled on PLTR as well. Lovely. So now the orders are going down on market atlas. It's going toward 179. NVDA is selling off. AMD is getting destroyed as
And
well.
yeah, where's Santa Claus? Is Santa Claus going to come to town this year? I don't know.
Uh, yeah,
Could have that Santa Claus rally.
yeah, AMD is definitely selling off.
Right,
Qs are selling off.
right, yeah.
Things are pretty
Right
bad
now, it
now.
looks like everybody's getting a lump of coal.
That's absolutely amazing. Um,
Yeah, we're mentioning that in the room about Apple. It's kind of funny, when we've had these. I've noticed when we've had these big sell-off days, you look at the my master list, and there's one green stock, and it's Apple. For some reason, everybody everybody wants to jump into Apple when the world's coming to an end.
Apple is fundamentally is probably stronger than most of them. Like all PLTR and a lot of these AI companies have very high P ratio. Like PLTR is like 460,
Yeah,
70. The average of S&P
yeah,
500 is like 26, 25 P. And they're trading on the expensive range. Like S&P 500 is not in a bubble territory, but they're trading at a more expensive one. Now PLTR is at like 460 P ratio. Tesla is probably around 100 now. So that means that people are really betting on the future on these stocks. But again, very hard to also short them. Like Dr. Michael Berry, the person who shorted the housing market the first, he's short PLTR and a lot of these AI companies, including NVDA. But here's the question. Even in the housing market, Dr. Michael Berry was early for 2 years. For 2 years, he was getting squeezed. So
Yeah,
shorting this stuff
yeah.
on the long term is also very tricky. There was a scene in the movie that he was saying to his main investor Lawrence that wait, it's gonna work out. I might be early, but I'm not wrong. And then the guy was losing his money. He said, "It's the same thing. It's the same thing."
Yeah, yeah, he really felt like he was getting screwed over by the big banks. They weren't letting that market drop.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Brendan. They can remain, market can remain irrational longer than it can stay solvent, and that's exactly what's happening to his funds. He had to pay this premium for the credit default swap, and he was running out of money to pay for those premiums. And if he stopped paying, he was running out of money. Then those default swaps were worth nothing. So. You can stay, you might be wrong. PLTR might be a bubble and eventually, corrects, but the question is when. That's why shorting is
Yeah.
super expensive, super difficult. All right, so NVDA is selling off, AMD is still selling off. I really, really like to get a reversal on AMD, but we're reaching to a point that is difficult to find the level, honestly. Uh,
There's some really big options positions at on these zero DTE calls on SPX, really big positions at around 67.25.
yeah.
So generally speaking, those will probably be, it's probably an area where we see some maybe see some support for the SPY. 67.25. So you get a lot of calls, and at 67.20, you got a lot of puts. Market's still dropping here. I'll send maybe I'll send some. We'll give away some a couple of my books maybe Friday tomorrow. Send
Yeah, that would be really nice.
send some links to Carlos.
Yeah, it's really nice. So there's some question on YouTube is about my VOO position. You can see in my screen. Um, the VOO is part of my long-term portfolio, so that I have, which is essentially S&P 500, and part of the other my portfolio is TLT, which is the long-term treasuries. I don't plan to sell these in a foreseeable future. So therefore, these two positions are really not a trade, they're investment. And one of the key things in long-term investment is that you have to forget the password of your trading account or investment account. So let it just run.
Yeah,
These two positions are gonna probably stay with me until at least another 10 years. As long as I don't need the money, I'm going to keep it. If anything, I just keep adding to that. I'm recently adding more to TLT, the bonds, because I want to slowly get into the portfolio of a 60-40. So 60% stocks, 40% bonds. So someone asking, okay, what's your stop loss? There's really no stop loss for me here. So we're just going to hold it. I can hold it through some corrections. I can hold through a market crash. So there is really no stop loss. It's like having a property, like having a rental property. What's your stop loss on that? There's no stop loss. You just want to hold it. The market goes up and down, interest rates go up and down. You just hold that investment as long as you don't need the money. So that's my thing. SCOV is a short-term treasuries. They give you a little bit of a better interest. So I have a little bit of money in the other account. I'm just putting it in there to get like I think about 3-4% interest. I'm getting it, but eventually I might actually withdraw that money or do something else with it. But for now, just holding this one. So why not covered calls? So somebody's asking a very good question. Why not sell covered calls? The reason for that is I did sold covered calls on it, but I lost money on the covered calls because then there was news came in, VO gapped up, and it just turned out to be a mess. I kind of lost $200,000 on that big move because when the covered calls get hit, then you're missing the profit, you're capped. And it's just writing covered calls is good on something that is volatile. VO is doesn't have much volatility, so you don't get much premium unless you go down way into the money. And I just decided, you know what, I don't want that. There are some, ETFs that is doing the same thing for you professionally. They're automatically with the algos and everything. They do the covered because like JP, JEPQ, they're all the ones, but they also
Yeah.
underperform in the bull market because the covered calls just keep getting hit and then you miss part of the move. Um, Again, I don't also have the mentality of maximizing all the profits as possible. Like the Wall Street is doing it, and because they have to do it. Like if you're a fund manager, you have to beat the market, otherwise you get fired or people pull their money out. But I don't have to beat the market, or I don't have to always have this, couple of percent advantage. So trading for me, day trading is pretty good. We're doing solid on that front. So and I don't want this to become an addiction for me. When you start covered calls on your long-term positions, it really becomes a different game, require different commitment, education, tools. Like, I just don't want that.
Yeah, it just requires more management, and the whole point of having long-term investments is just having them parked and not worrying about them. But yeah, I mean, you end up with having to make decisions about am I gonna uh am I gonna get called away on these positions if the price moves above the strike, um or do I liquidate the option so I can keep the position, and then you end up losing money probably. So it's just if it's a long-term hold, it's just better to just buy and hold.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Again, I also want it to be passive. Like I don't want to have another, I will work for it. Like I like it to be passive investment. Then you want to become active. But some people have believed like in some other companies, like if I was having Tesla, if it was a position like Tesla, PLTR, NVDA, because these are very volatile companies, their options have a lot of premium because options are like insurance. I mean, if you want to insure something that is very volatile, obviously you have to pay more, you have to collect more. So they might worth it. Like I used to sell calls and stuff on Tesla. These premiums are really good because these companies, like you look at PLTR, 5% up and down, AMD 10% up and down. So there's a lot of premium we can collect even on a weekly basis. So Brian, Osam is asking, do you favor trading stocks on a spot or options if you had to choose between two?
It depends. Depends what I'm trading. Really, I mean, sometimes I like trading options. If you're talking about day trading, I like day trading options on stocks that are extremely liquid, like Tesla and NVDA and AMD. Um, you just get a better bang for your buck, or the SPX options, the zero DTEs. But if I'm swing trading, or trading smaller, interested in trading stocks that are, not where the options aren't as liquid, like stuff like, like if you wanted to trade Dash this morning, the options probably aren't very liquid, so you have a big spread between the bid and the ask. So be probably more inclined to trade the stock. And as far as swing trading goes, I mean, again, it depends on the stock you're trading. I've been doing a lot of more penny stocks this year because it's just been an awesome year for penny stocks. Options obviously aren't an option.
All right, things are trying to bounce back a little bit.
Yeah, market's bouncing a bit. We're trying to hold here anyway. This is right in this area where we've got this big call and put spread. This option spread right at around 67.25, 67.20.
AMD looks like it wants to bounce. 293.50 is an order.
Yeah, no worries.
Gonna get some long in AMD here just for fun.
Yeah, it looks like PLTR is trying to find a bit of a bottom here.
House Speaker Johnson says won't promise a vote on healthcare subsidies.
Looks like AMD, NVDA is bouncing like a doji. NVDA looks like also interesting. That closed as a doji here. Yeah, NVIDIA, that could be a good long to 192. PLTR also found a double bottom. Looks like market is trying to do a quick
trying to
NVIDIA
find a
test.
bottom here.
Yeah. Let's see if AMD can go to 240. Looks like some sort of a bottom in price action here. So Nan, if you want to do, so somebody's asking, VO is expensive for me. So if you want to invest, it doesn't matter what's the price chart. You can buy one shares because your investment is based on the value of the portfolio that you have. It doesn't matter the number of the shares. And that's a very big misconception that people think, oh, I don't have money. I don't want to buy something that is $500. It doesn't matter. You buy your whatever money that you have and you move based on percentage on that one.
22.25.
All right, let's see if Mr. AMD would bounce from here or he wants to go lower. It looks like I got tricked into that.
NVIDIA's trying to bounce here.
Yeah, it looks like I got tricked in that.
Doesn't I mean the market is I wouldn't say there's any really enthusiastic buying going on right now.
I
I mean,
know,
the market sold off quite a bit. It's sort of a buyer's strike. So maybe we'll get a bit of a bounce, but I don't have a lot of hope for today for any kind of a big comeback. Wow, Tesla just broke S4, new low of day. AMD new low of day.
AMD is get that. I'm gonna get a stop out on AMD.
Q's new low of day.
Tricky, huh? You tricked me, Mr. AMD. Yeah, the volume is going now to 36. He's gonna get there.
At least with a bottoming trade, at least you know where you're going to stop out. I mean, if it's not a bottom, obviously you got to honor your stop. Maybe we're going to.
Yeah. PLTR still holding. PLTR next level 178. Like Gary mentioned 180. both you and I said no way.
Yeah, I'm surprised it had to get through a whole lot of levels to get down to that 180.
So even so
Oh,
if you
there's
bought the
NVIDIA.
DAS Funded account today, you can just email us whenever you want to start. We activate it for you. If you get a funded account through Trading Terminal, you can just automatically activate it yourself. Just click on activate and immediately activates. All right, AMD. Let's see if
NVIDIA is
AMD is a false
moving up
breakout.
here.
Hmm. Might be a false breakout. I'm
Nice,
gonna get back
nice
long on
little move
AMD.
on NVIDIA. I'm
Let
long
me
on
see
that.
if
I'm long NVIDIA right now.
I'm gonna be back long on
Got
AMD.
that.
Looks like it's
Yeah, like NVIDIA here. I'm just taking some profits on this now. Got a nice little bounce. But we've gone through the 9, but I'm just worried that we're going to stall at the 20 again. The 20 EMA on the 2-minute chart. We're right there now. Okay, if we drop below there we go. I'm out of the rest of this. Drop below the 9 again. Again, we just don't have any
LTR now.
enthusiastic. We got no enthusiastic buyers. I mean, we get these little pops,
Nice
and
PLTR.
and that's it. Look at that.
Oh, oh,
Nvidia going back right
oh,
back to low
yeah.
of days. Same with the Qs. Same with the SPY.
It's partitioning and
Both
PLTR,
indexes.
guys.
Yeah, both indexes rejected right at the 9 EMA. Definitely
179.
sellers. There's definitely
Oh,
sellers in
no.
the market today, no question.
Definitely no buyers. So I'm gonna go 179, 50 on PLTR and then 170. Oh, 179 is already there, huh? What about 178
Jesus.
and 178.50? Putting some order on PLTR down there. AMD tricked me again, huh? Definitely AMD doesn't want to go higher. There's no AMD has 236 Atlas. All right, I think AMD is going to be a loss. PLTR, let's see if we can get to 178.50. So, guys, I have one news announcement for the people in the chat. Thor was kind enough to put his Pivot Master alerts into the chat room. It's going to soon would be in real time broadcast into the chat room. We put a new tab, Pivot Bot, and also is going to come into main chat. Bruce are a really good trader, and Thor, that's a gift to BBT members. So thank you so much for giving us this new thanks. Yeah, Legends Bruce, thank you so much. You're testing it. So it's going to be automatically on the stocks and on futures that meet the criteria of S4 to R3. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, that'll be
Lovely.
great. Also, if you want to come to the Bearable Trading uh, website, all the at I think it's the Trading Terminal web educational stuff is free there. So if you want to learn how to use and take advantage of all the information that's on Trading Terminal, you can check it out.
Yeah, guys, you don't need to be a BBT member if you really want to use the tools um, that we are having on Trading Terminal. Anyone who's part of Trading Terminal, you're going to have access to all of the educational material as well. And if you're a BBT member, you already have access to Trading Terminal Academy. Okay, so
Yeah.
Thor is here, looking good, buddy. We are
Yeah.
excited for your
Rock on.
we are
New
we are very
tool.
excited to have that the bots that you're
Yeah.
having so in the chat room.
Yeah,
And
thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
no, thank you for building it, for teaching people how to use it, and giving it to BBT members. I know you're
Yeah.
definitely
It's awesome. I'm looking forward to using it as well.
yeah.
So,
All right, guys. So it's over.
all right.
PLTR is over. So I covered everything on PLTR,
Yeah.
guys. Oh shit! I actually went became long on it. Okay, so
I hate it when that happens.
it's actually profitable. So 10, 12
Well,
bucks. That's good. Getting out of it. So I'm all out of PLTR. AMD, I'm still long, but I'm probably gonna get out of it too. So hand it over to Boss Thor, and thanks, Brian, and see you guys in the Trading Terminal webinar today. I think it's at what time is it? The webinar Trading Terminal is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'll see you guys there. And Lenny also
yeah.
has the mentorship session, guys, right now in the webinar room.
And you guys, if you're feeling some FOMO about Thailand, think you missed out. We may have an opening here. Someone's uh, maybe having trouble having some scheduling issues, so you can reach out to us if you're interested in the Thailand trip coming up in less than 3 weeks, or more than three, just more than 3 weeks. So, all right, Thor, take it away, buddy.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Good to see everybody out there in YouTube land. So great to like have everybody there. Really kind of an exciting day in the market. A little wild, I would say, as far as I know. But it's just crazy. I'm actually a little stoked right now. We had a couple of people hit some really good trades today. So I'm just really excited about that and seeing everybody. So I actually, first off, wanted to announce to everybody that it has happened for my BBT people. So I know you guys, I can't always say everything that's happening because I can't confirm things until they're done. Right. Oh, let me get my screen share up. It's not showing for some reason. And then I'll show you what I'm trading to. I'm also, I like silver right now, maybe for a possible long. So we can't always I can't always say everything that's going on because not everything comes together at the same time. So some of the BBT members felt like they were getting left behind because because there was like the new indicator thing and all these other things. So, but that's not what was going on, right? We were just still working out. So the alerts that come from the indicator are going to be being posted into the Bear Bull Traders chat room. So if you want to get access to these calls, joining the Bear Bull Traders membership has an additional perk now. Right now, if you want to still have it in your trading view, if you want the alerts to draw for you and to show you the boxes and to get all those different things, then yeah, you're going to want to do that. But it's really awesome and it's a really good benefit to everybody. So I'm so excited to be able to announce that for everybody. And so within the next couple of days, our integration should be done. There's now a tab there that's called the Pivot Bot tab, and we will now be sending our orders into there. So let me and they will be off of my watch list, right? 1 second. So my apologies for you said Thor sounds hoarse. This is actually true. I did get a little bit of a cold that ended up unfortunately hit me a little bit in the voice, and I talk just way too much. So those things kind of combined together. Oh, let me get loaded up here. Hold on one second. I gotta get logged into my account. So I had a really nice day today. So we were watching the ES actually, and the ES in the pre-market was up near R3. And so we didn't really think that it really looked like we were reoffering on the larger time frames. So we called BS. So if you guys look at the 4-hour chart here on ES, what do you see? If you're looking at the 4-hour, what do you see? This is where VPA, this is where ghost candles combined with the BS detector can really, I mean, it's like having anti-cooling in your computer. You know, I mean, you can see here that once we started selling on the 29th, anytime we got green candles that were big, they were generically stuffed, right? Anytime we moved up on a buy day, it was always in the pre-market on weak volume, right? We never broke the downtrend. In the pre-market, we offered the downtrend and then immediately started selling away from it. So we saw us look at this test, look at this interaction to ES. So as soon as we hit R3 on ES, it started to sell. So I went ahead and used NQ because I prefer to trade NQ because I get better movement on NQ. So I did the same thing on NQ here, and I risked about $500 on this trade, and I hit a 4-to-1 target. Now I actually only go for the CP in the pre-market because my hit rate on full traverses, unfortunately, I hit my target, and oh man. Oh my God. I mean, you got to understand that's not a small trade, by the way. That's very good money, right? It's very good money. I'm not complaining. You know what I'm saying? But and no, rules are rules, right? It's a green day. It's the best day. You know what I mean? And in the pre-market, I don't go for full runs on the pre-market because my hit rate's too low on them, right? I got my 4-to-1. I scalped, you know, so I'm happy. But look at the re-offer, by the way, of the trend and then the sell. Amazing. Amazing. Right? So, but not for nothing, I did also mirror this on 8 accounts. Right? So it's a good day. You know what I mean? So it's not bad. We'll take it. So, but I'm just happy. I'm talking to a couple people that all had killer days. But look at this thing was never a buy, people. This thing was never a buy. Right? Like, look, it just sold. It pulled back. It started selling. Look, anytime it pulled back, look at our buying and selling detector down here. Then even at the open, we never started buying. We offered equilibrium when we squeezed. So I don't know if this is actually there was no alert on the pre-market one. It wasn't in the right range. I took this short because we were failing R3 to really, you know, so it's still not a buy anywhere in here, right? So you can see here, when we pulled back this mid-level, I'm calling it equilibrium. I don't know if I'm actually like making up something. It is my indicator, so I guess I get to make something up. But the 0 line is basically when we have balance between buying and selling, but I like thinking it is like equilibrium, not really balance, because you could have, you know, you could have a certain large number versus a smaller, and a more quantity of a smaller. Anyway, it's weird. But look, as we pulled back, we just offered the trend, right? And then came back through it and then sold down. And then look what this whole time. And now we have a little bit of a steeper trend. You know, we could go from here to maybe here. But this thing is still clearly in a downtrend right now, right? So this is not a buy. We are still clearly selling. We are still we're still consistently selling, right? We're not even at equal, we're not even reoffering equilibrium. We started to buy for just a minute, and then we capitulated and we fell, and then clearly started selling again, right? So right now, this is not a long. For everyone who's thinking, oh, can I bounce the market right now? Should I go long? The answer is no. Right? It's a narrow range. We are now officially in a counter trending breakdown. You know what I mean? This is officially a counter trending breakdown. So there are rare occasions. I just don't have a play for it that calls. If this was a lower range, we would have called the pullback to S4. But since this is a higher range, we do get counter trends from the inside. They just don't happen often enough to call them. Right? That's things you have to remember. There's going to be a couple of days like today, or even though there's a lot of movement, we just don't call them because what's going on right now is just so unusual. You know what I mean? Like you'll go through periods where you'll have 2 or 3 days where you won't get a lot of calls, and then you'll have 2 or 3 days where you get like, 5 or 6 calls a day, and every single one of them are amazing. Yeah. So YM still selling. I like that it's a wider range, but we are under S4. We're officially in a kill zone. So there's no reason I would really think we would rally now. You think they're anticipating, I think Baller's speaking at 3:30. Yeah, I think they're anticipating something he's saying, because it seems like we're getting some fairly preemptive selling here. I sound very like I don't know, very right now. This is great. I like it. All right. Right now, we have been a sell all day. So Ben, that's an interesting question. So here's kind of how I would like to answer that the best way that I possibly can. Right? Do you tell your dad how to drive? And the answer is no, right? But does your dad drive by the rules? No. Why? Experience, right? What I'm giving you is I'm giving you the highest probability instances in which are going to happen. But it's not like that. Like, I'm not a playbook person, right? I have a complete day trading system, right? I teach at Peak Capital, right? But I don't have like a thing like that. Right. So for me was our range, were we in a selling range at R3 and had an obvious response to R3? Right. And so if so, was there enough there for me to sell? And in this instance, it was yes. Right. So now if for you that works, but for me, would I recommend someone who just started trading and just started using my system to do that? No, I certainly wouldn't. Right. Why? Because think about the statistic here on driving, right? Why is insurance higher for new drivers between the ages of 16 and 25, even though you just passed your driving test, you know all the driving rules, you're probably following every single rule out there, yet your cost is going to be higher? It's because the reality is you're a new driver. It doesn't really matter how well you adhere to the rules. You're just more likely to get in a wreck. And even an older driver who's less likely to adhere to the rules, they don't get into a wreck, right? You know what I mean? So, and I know that's maybe not like it's not like the answer maybe you would want, but Ben, I'm never going to BS you on this one. This one, the lesson that you learn from here is if you have a good idea about it and you're willing to live with the consequence, go for it. You know what I mean? Like I was, in this instance, I knew that I wasn't going to get quite the setup that I wanted to get, but it had enough there. ES was at R3. We were obviously starting to sell. there was enough there that I could say I can try this one. It's also in the pre-market, right? I don't trade in the pre-market, right? So now silver I really like, and you know what I'm saying. So I think we could see something on silver because that called recently, but it's just been chopping around. So, but I do think that there's some potential on silver that maybe we could have something happen here. And silver's got a really nice call. But again, we haven't started buying yet. And that's the reason I haven't taken any of the calls we've had otherwise today. Because we actually had some decent calls. And Netflix, for instance, is a good one today. It hasn't hit target yet, but if you had taken it, you would be doing very well. So we only had 4 calls today, right? And Netflix was one of them. And Netflix went up, it pulled back, it held, and it moved up. So, like I'm saying, I give you highest probability stuff. So, but it's not like it's not working. If I had have just sat around and just waited for Netflix and played Netflix, I could have. But I play futures too. Like, you know what I mean? So I didn't have a lot of futures calls that looked like they were going to pan today. But like if you're playing equities, Netflix is beautiful. We'll see if it makes it to target. Tesla was a clear no-go. Look at Tesla. This is where, so this one, Tesla was just like at the beginning, it looked like there might be a buy, but there was no call. But look, when we got down to do the call, we were clearly in the selling area. Like we were just like you can tell if you're reading you don't have to have the BS detector or the ghost candles. If you know how to read VPA, like if you read Anna Cooling's book or my book and you really understand VPA, you really don't need these indicators. They just really help you if you don't. You know what I mean? Like and especially if you're new and you're trying to kind of create an edge there. You know what I mean? It can really do it for you. Right. So, but you should never so another thing would be if you were using like some kind of a trend, right? I mean, it was never really kind of lost it, but you can still even see here, we're still clearly selling, right? I don't swing trade at all, but but most of my day trades are fairly long held. So I would consider myself an intraday swinger, but I don't like swing trading at all. And I think I think this is like PTSD. I started stock trading when Trump was the president last time. And I know everyone here gets like really upset, like, oh man, this Trump guy, all of this stuff. But I can tell you right now, like the market is way more docile this time with him than it was last time. Hey, what's up, dude? Happy Thursday. I wish it was Friday. Are you serious? You made me look at my watch. I got confused. But happy Thursday. It's a Thursday. Hilarious. It's Peter's birthday. I wish my voice was better because I was actually going to sing happy birthday to Peter today. But I can't now because my voice is messed up. So I'm sorry, Peter. That was going to be my present to you. So, hoping a little bubbly drink will help. Oh yeah, that did help a little bit. Anyway, so gold. Let's look at gold first. So on gold, get our 4-hour on. Let's get rid of this. I am all about, especially for swing traders, y'all. I highly recommend starting to use the 4-hour. I mean, Dr. V kind of just sold me on this chart. For anyone look at this. Is this not the most beautiful textbook double top you've ever seen? I mean, it's just amazing, right? It's just so pretty. The sell, the reoffer. But look, as we made the new high, notice how we didn't make a new high in the volume. See how this is a new high? See, the BS detector exposes it, right? This is why I'm telling you guys, this is the coolest thing I've ever created in my life. It actually, not for nothing, I think this is a more valuable indicator than my cams. And my cams are amazing. They're my favorite wares, obviously. but being able to actually recognize directionality and in real time utilizing volume and price analysis, it's just spectacular. And you know, and it works on everything. So, but you can see here, as we are pushing up, we made a very strong push with not a lot of volume. But then when we sold, look how we sold, right? And then when we came back up to reoffer the high, look how we could not reoffer the high in volume, right? And then the response selling. And then now look, as we pulled back, again, we couldn't even reoffer equilibrium. We just pulled back to the mid levels, right? And we've just sustained it. So right now for me, overall, goal is a sell right now for me, right? So we kind of have this, you know, kind of this flattening trend here, right? But for the most part, this thing right now is, I mean, it's, you know, maybe like we could do something like here to here. Actually, you know, we're kind of a little above trend right now, but not much. So, I mean, what we're probably banging into is some levels from before. So notice if you come out here, so this is called these are all ray lines. And if you're using TradingView, I highly recommend, yeah, I'll check out SPY. I highly recommend ray lines. That includes for your horizontal lines as well. They're just really clean. So you can kind of see down here, see how we have this area of premium here that we bought. You can see the high of this candle and see how there's like a value gap here for all of you ICT people. See how there's like a fair value gap, and then we re-offer kind of the top of that gap. But I specifically like this premium level that we had to buy in the mid-level of that candle. That just feels good, right? So if we hit that guy, look where that lines up. Right? That's our guy on gold right there. Someone had to work pretty hard to buy that level, and they were willing to buy more when we got there. So, but notice we're coming down into this level. So imagine what happens if we crack that level on gold, right? It's going to be pretty big. And ever since we got to 4,000 a Troy, right, gold's been fairly, you know, it exploded and then started selling like crazy. Because imagine anyone who had been held in for a long time, they just were making great money. So we've gone off, you know, almost, you know, 400 an ounce. I mean, it's pretty amazing. What else is amazing is I can now watch gold mining shows and actually understand what they're talking about when they're valuing their gold, which is pretty cool. Thank you, commodities. Let's look at, so gold now, you can kind of see what we're doing. We're kind of sitting right on this trend right now. We're in a higher narrow range. But in this positioning, I would not be shocked to see us buy S3. We have not started buying yet, but we're not really selling very well either. So it would be interesting to see what can happen here. Overall, selling more than buying. So I wouldn't call it a buy yet, but we are in a buying range and we are kind of resting on that trend, right? So if we did buy here and come back up and reclaim, this could be a spot that we could get a pretty sharp move by the end of the day. We went to almost to R4. This is a narrow range. We could go outside, right? And ATR high is still way up here. So it is possible that we could buy S3 if it starts buying. And that's the big point, right? If it starts buying, right? But right now it's not. So you have to wait. SPY. Yeah. SPY is at ATR low. So if you use our adaptive ATR limits, right? This is a public indicator, so you don't have to be a subscriber to anything to get these. You can just go and type them into your TradingView. I put mine. My settings are basic calculation, and I use an ATR length of 14, smoothing period of 5. So right now, and they're amazing. So you can see right now that we are currently, oh, well, they were amazing till I did that. There we go. So you can see right now we are selling still very hard, right? And let's see. Let's readjust this a little bit. We're going to grab that high now, and we made a new low here, so we can do a steeper. So you can see right now on SPY, the price would have us in a fairly aggressive downtrend right now, right? So you would not want to try and bounce, even though we are at ATR low, right? All of our indicators right now have us as a sell. Don't argue with the price. I know we like to play reversals. I know we like to buy breakouts. I know we like to do these things. Don't argue with the price action, right? So this is why we've taken the time to develop ghost candle. If cams were good enough by themselves, I would sell them only to you at a premium, right? Like this is why it's more to it than that. That's why I got calls because I want you to look in the right place. Yeah, Camaria pivots. They got calls. I want you to look in the right place. And don't forget, I don't think I told anybody, but I am doing something later today, maybe in like about 15 minutes. You know what that is? I'm giving away another copy of my overly priced book. You know, spend a fortune on Amazon for this incredibly overpriced resource, or you can get it for free right here on this channel. And the cool thing about that is I am going to sign it. Maybe write something nice inside of it. Maybe. Maybe I'll write something entirely inappropriate in it. You have no idea what I could write in this. It could be intellectual. It could be sensual. With this voice, I think I'm going to go for sensual today. So I'm going to do a drawing for it, Judy, in just a moment. Like 11:45, 11:50, somewhere in there. I'll do it. Well, it'll be as the coach. French kiss. Oh my God. I love you so much, you people. Oh my God. Oh, oh my God. Hey, BTC Heaven, do you like Bitcoin? Look what we have now. Guess what I can do? We just added the pivots to the CAM pivot system. We added the ability to do crypto. Thank you, Braz. So in the most recent update, one of the things you will have gotten is actually CAM pivots for your different Bitcoins. So it also works on Forex, by the way, and related futures. So we love you. I told you it was a good thing to do this. Now we can have Bruz do it. The setting is Thor mode. Thor mode. If you have premium, all you need is Thor mode. It's all you'll ever need. Fun, right? I'm really excited for hey, BTC, are there any cryptos that I should have in my watch list? Like that, like any issuances you would like me to keep an eye on? Because I wouldn't mind adding a few. Like, what's popular to trade? Like, if you were going to trade, what would you do? Ethereum? Should I do this one? Which one should I do? I typed it wrong. This guy? USD? That's probably a good one, right? I meant to add that to my list. Am I running out of things for my watch list? Do I have too much? Is there a rule here? Oh, I see. That's the problem. I need this guy. I don't know why it's not there, but whatever. So, Mark, I think you could be right there, but there could be deviation too. I have more than one. Oh, I put it on the chart. That's so fun. I have this happen every now and again where it just doesn't like to add stuff for me for a little while. I'll add. Let's do it the old school way. ETH Bam. And then what was the other one? FIS. SOL. Should I do Sol USD or just Solana USD crypto trading view, right? And then I just want to do a couple. Maybe I'll start with those three. So I'll start with those and let's see what we get. I'll be really interested to see if some of these hit or not. Cool. Fun. Crypto list. All right, cool. Fun. On trading terminal, like which indicator are you talking about? Like the like Atlas? Because these ones are just available through TradingView. You don't have to have any other subscription. But my calls will be going into BBT's room. Let's look at the SPY real quick and see what things are looking like. So we already know we are at ATR low. Right, and we've lost our we're starting to regain, we're starting to gain our short-term trend here, our downtrend. So, but I actually see some buying. Look, we've actually gone into a buy here but will it sustain? That's a different question, right? So as we reoffer, we don't want to come back through equilibrium, right? We want to stay above here. If we come back through the low side, then that means we're probably starting to sell a little bit more. But we have had a couple instances where we tried to buy, but again, not sustained. So Melanie, I agree so much with what I just read you say. The key to your personal success was when you learned to use your natural tendency to hold for my own good. I really think that was a really big thing for me too. I think in the very beginning, I think I was naturally disadvantaged because I didn't like how it felt to be so fast, right? I think if you would describe me in a relationship aspect, I'd like to think of myself as being like, maybe, secure, like maybe a little anxiously attached. You know what I mean? So when I find something I like to hold on to it. You know what I mean? And hang on and I don't like to let it go. But now because of that, I have to really use stops, right? Because if I use stop, ooh, see what I mean? Yeah, still not buying. But I have to use stops because of that, though, right, Melanie? Because there are times in which I will hold beyond a threshold, right? Like my first marriage. Oh my God. That was not appropriate. But I have to set stops because if I don't, then I'm too likely just to like get committed and hold on. So I have to set boundaries for my trading, just like you have to set boundaries in your life, right? So it's like, but if you allow your trading to kind of own you, then it's just not the thing. It still could be near the bottom. Nicolo, let's see if we get let's look for a Wyckoff spring here. Does everyone know what a Wyckoff spring is? Let's look for that here. I think that could be something that could happen. We're still selling too much. Yeah, I was definitely holding past my stop loss in my personal life, Sean B. That's pretty funny, man. Oh my God. I didn't play ES. I played NQ. Sorry. All right. I made it as long as I could without losing. Sorry, now you're gonna have to watch me chew on something while I talk. Yeah, let me talk about Wyckoff Spring. So, and then I'll talk about 4-hour trend because I don't want to bury it. So when we're talking about accumulation versus distribution patterns, we're talking about Livermore, Wyckoff. These are old stock brokers that were just the best at what they did. And they did it using very old school methodology. So like when you're learning like trend lines from V, or you're learning about like VPA and market theory and stuff from me, or like in here, we got my buddy Mark in here who likes to teach value, which is basically Dalton. We're teaching you from stuff that's been tried true and almost common knowledge in the market for 50 or 60 years, right? Like we're not really like trying to teach you some kind of new crazy thing. We're actually trying to teach you the tried and true methods that have just always worked. The problem is a lot of the times our desire to get in the game and our game quickly, we just don't give ourselves the chance to really learn the mechanics of the market and how things work. And if you're going to be a day trader and you're going to really tightly time entries, it's quite beneficial to understand what the process really is. So I'm going to explain this in two different ways. One is I'm going to explain it in a technical way, and then one I'm going to explain it using one of the most country analogies you've ever heard in your life. So just be ready for the world's most country analogy. All right. So the first thing is actually in the accumulation process, right? So let's say we have a price. And we have another price here. This up here, right? This up here, right, is going to be our ask on a larger time frame. So, or we'll call this value high, right? It's a large order that's sitting up here, right? Value high up here, right, is going to be our big order. And that's the order we want to get to. Always is the order we want to get to, by the way, right? Not the pig wrestling analogy, although I like it, Nathan. That's for later, privately. We have value high up here. So down here, we're going to have our bid, right? And our best bid, our big order that's on the book, right? And this will end up being our value low, right? So if a market maker is sitting here at the price today and they know that they need to buy that order, the market maker is going to start off by distributing, right? So they're going to move the price down very quickly. And as the price is going, basically what's happening is anytime somebody sells, right? So this is where it gets complicated, right? The market maker is in the middle, right? You have sellers and you have buyers. If the market maker wants to go up, right, then anytime the buyer buys, the market maker will send those orders to the book. Anytime someone sells, the market maker will inventory the selling. This will create negative imbalance to the top side and lift the price. Right? If the market maker wants to go down, what they're going to do is the exact opposite. Right? Anytime someone sells, they're going to send it to the book. Anytime someone this is why having Atlas is very beneficial. Anytime someone sends orders to the book, right, it goes to the downside if they're selling, but if they send it on the buy side, it gets added into inventory. And this is called accumulation. The latter was distribution, right? Now, if the market maker wants to go down, the first thing they're going to or go up, they're most often going to go down first because they want to create a low average, right? They're going to distribute into anyone who wants to sell, right? Who at this time, they're actually going to buy those sells because every time they buy, they're buying lower and lower and lower and lower. So they're actually lowering their cost average. They have to buy this order. In order to buy 1 million shares, they need to accumulate 1 million shares down here. Did you hear me properly? I bet that was confusing. In order to buy 1 million shares, they need to buy 1 million shares lower. You get it? I know this one's hard. In order to buy high, they need to buy low first. They need a low average. If this is $100 and they want to buy 105, they need 1 million shares at an average of under 105. Right? If they don't, then they're going to be at a negative average when they buy. They have to buy low in order to buy high. Then they sell low. Watch. Here we go. So let's say we're at $100 down here. I knew I was going to get you guys excited, right? So even when there's $100 down here, they're going to come down here, and anytime someone sells, they're going to buy. This is accumulation. Let's say their average cost on their portfolio. Remember, every single market maker is a trader. They're brokers. They have portfolios, right? So if they're going to buy high, they need to buy more low. It creates a lower cost average. right? So they're going to keep buying and buying. These orders are on the book to this top side. They know they can go buy them, but they need enough selling so that they can accumulate and then go buy that order. So they'll push down and accumulate. And then what'll happen is right before they're ready to go take this order, they will throw the price down, grab this big order to the downside, come off of it, and move up very rapidly. That is a Wyckoff spring, right? I'll show you on a real chart in a minute, but it'll be a distribution without a buy because of today, right? I'll show you on like 10 charts if you want. So you can go down. So you see it goes down here. They hit the order and then they come off of it. And then they'll run up to here and they will work and buy that order. Boom, buy. Then once they buy the order, they will exhaust. Our volume will deviate, and then they will see buy orders on Atlas come in this way, and they will start distributing into the new buy orders, right? But their cost average when they bought that was down here, right? Because they accumulated here. So when they bought this order, their cost, think about averaging in, right? Their cost average was lifted to here. So then so now distributions often have what's called a UTAD, right, props? That's called a UTAD, an upward thrust after distribution, right? So when they're done, this is why we're looking for the big market middle finger. You know what I mean? We want that big candle with the big volume that doesn't go anywhere, and then the volume response on the sell. So let's look at that in a couple of charts today and see what we can find, right? So in the entire pre-market on SPY, and you can see this probably best on the 4-hour. Let's get rid of this guy. Here we go. This is actually a distributionary pattern, right? We have moments of buying, but if you really look across, this is why I've been telling everybody, we're going to have a really nasty sell pretty soon, right? If you look since July, where is the majority of our volume when it hits big candles, and in which way? When we sell hard, right? We don't buy. When we buy, and it's very, very weak, right? It's very poorly put. This is distributing. But if people are willing to buy, why wouldn't the market makers allow the price to go higher? So Andrew actually put out an article. He retweeted a re-article on this that was actually exposed by Unusual Whales, that a very large amount of our inventory right now is being purchased at premium by retail traders, right? We have an unusually large amount of premium that's been bought by retail, right? So that means the market makers are offloading into premium and retail is buying it. So you have the most paper-handed of all holders, right? Swing traders, retail swing traders, and day traders. And they're buying premium and the market maker is selling it to them, right? So as you can see here, look as we push up and made new highs recently on SPY. Look at the volume. What do you see? Is anyone surprised at all we're selling today? Like, look what happened last time we were in this range. Do you expect to find a buy now? The SPY is going down today, mostly because of I think generalized uncertainty in future fiscal policy. So I think we had a momentary pop because we had some decent numbers come in, but it was all retail. No one institutional bought that news that came out on Monday. It was mostly retail. The volume on it was incredibly low. And then what happened is we now know that we're going to have a bit of an announcement after at like 3:30. That's going to probably add in more. And we go from there. Okay, I can't help myself. I'm looking. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you were thinking about buying Microsoft, can you ask me why? Melanie, you're 1,000% right. Do you see why ghost candles are so amazing? When you look at this in ghost candles, is it not like so easy to see? It literally looks like someone's neck's been cut and they're just bleeding out on your screen. I mean, that was a little graphic. Sorry, a little dramatic, everybody. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's this thing is just dying right now. You know what I mean? So if you took like a diagonal ray and just hit this pullback here, I mean, look at how steep and aggressive that downtrend is. Where's the last time we found a buyer? Right here. Let's do a horizontal ray. That's our only hope on this thing. Right? That's aggressive. Wow. Yeah, see, this does not look like a long at all. No buying. See, this is why using these detectors will help you. You can see here, look, we came off of S3. We did call, but you can see we were clearly still selling. So there was no reason to entertain this entry, right? Like we had a wear, sure, but we did not have a win at all. Like this was clearly a sell. Even on this pullback, we just offered equilibrium. So that's a perfect spot to add short, right? So if you're a short, that's where you go short on that pullback to equilibrium right there. Pow. Look at how beautiful that is. And then off of it. I don't look at tick, but I used to. Tick and trend are quite valuable indicators. I really just don't use them very much, but I do like them. That's fun. Oh my God, it's a bloodbath. How's AMD look right now, by the way? Oh, I'm so happy right now. I had my best long hold of my entire career thanks to AMD. Oh my God, it is right there. I sold AMD on this day at 550. I had been holding AMD since like under $100 or something. I've just had it for quite a long time. So it was my first like real big oh, sorry, that's Microsoft. Shit. Hold on, wrong one. It's the same thing. It looks the same. It's right here. And it was 220, not 550. I'm sorry, I'm stupid. It was 220, not 550. Right there. That's the one I was thinking about. That one. I got rid of it on that day right there, but I've been holding it since sub 100. I'm in AMD, I'm sorry. So it gapped on that day, and I was just like, that was so good. And it was like, I didn't do Microsoft. I wish it, no. But I had been AMD forever. I mean, I can't even tell you. I've been holding it since here, 80, like down here near $80. So it still went up, but I like my out. I agree. That gap was just too much for me, Ben, and I had made such good money on it. I mean, it was such a good thing. I was like, finally. And I really think like I know like a lot of people are gonna probably like disagree with me, which is fair because I don't really know that very well. But look at this reoffer, by the way, to Equilibrium. That's actually that's a continuation signal on AMD. See how it pulled right back? Even though it bought, it just went back to the midline and then came off of it with selling. That's actually kind of an ad signal for me. That's awesome. But let's watch. I mean, NQ could be cool. Oh man, so aggressive. All right, let's see here. All right. I think it's time. Are we ready, people? Where's my man Carlos?
We here. It's about that time.
I think it's time. Who's ready, people?
Let's do it.
Hashtag Thorbook. Available to everyone. Signed copy. I didn't wear this on my head, so let's get that fixed. A little bit of Thor head there. Little hashtag overpriced book. Hashtag Thorbook. I hope everybody, enjoys with their copy when they get it. I'm gonna be sending them all out together, so come on in. I mean, it's the fresh right from Amazon paperback. I'm gonna write a message in it. It's gonna be like the best message ever written to you by me in a book. I really don't feel like that was the right thing to say. Anyway, I will leave it to the man Carlos, who knows the beautiful timing of when this is the most opportune time to give away, to do it. He's just got this amazing feel. It's almost like the 5-minute ORB. He just knows when it's time to pull the trigger.
When it feels right, when all the stars align properly.
Hashtag don't French kiss my book. Oh, nobody knows what's happening right now. Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Mark that page. Mark the page number.
Nobody knows.
All right, friends, here we go. All right, so the winner is 3, 2, 1 goes to Ryan Brar, P9W.
Nice.
Congrats, my friend. Congrats.
Hey, Ryan. Congratulations. That's awesome. He didn't think overpriced book hashtag was gonna work, but it did. So just make sure to shoot me an email and Carlos an email, just so we make sure it gets to me. Every now and again I get like a spam on it. So make sure you send an email to me and to Carlos. Need your contact information so I can send it to you. Make sure your real name's in there if Ryan is not your real name and it's like a pseudonym, because I'm going to sign it to whoever you are. So thank you so much. So one more book to give away tomorrow. We have one left. So make sure you come by tomorrow. I told you I was giving one away every single day this week. So make sure you come by tomorrow. Awesome. Beautiful. So I mean, we're just bleeding today on NQ. So I don't know what you want to do, man. This thing is it is crazy. I do agree. I think Nathan should write a book on like how to read like order books and like spot gamma like option stuff. I think that'd be so cool. Silver, yeah. Let's take a look at it. We can do that last before we call it a Thursday. I'm being very boring right now. It looks like it's a possible call, though. That's for sure. Let's see here. I'm actually in on a contract of it, and I've been holding it for this whole time. So, but it's not been going very well. So I had my good win on the short. So I like this one because it's a solid call, and we've come back through trend. But I like this one. Stops right below here, but we'll see if it works. In hindsight, now that I'm looking at it, we've had pretty sustained selling. So we really haven't started buying very well. So, you know, there's a knock on this one. But since I hit the other one, I thought this would be a good one to get into and just let it breathe. And we'll see what happens. But I like this one. So I think it could be fun. I still think ES and NQ are still just dying right now. So anyway, everybody out there, thank you very so much for hanging out with me on YouTube today. I really appreciate you all. Don't forget, tonight is Thursday, which means behind the paywall at 8 p.m. Eastern, we have Thursday night mentoring. So you can come by, hang out with me, put your trades in. I'll do a trade eval for you, ask questions, whatever you want. I got you. So I hope you all have a great rest of your trading day, and I'll see you tomorrow for one more book giveaway. Talk to you then. Much love, peeps.